key to these great spots? Being able to reach them in the first place. Your spot is out there. Find your frontier in the all-new 2022 Nissan Frontier. With best-in-class standard 310 horsepower, advanced tech, and 281 pound-foot of torque. Comparison based on 2022 Frontier S versus latest in-market Ward small truck segment. Base models compared based on manufacturer's website.
It's no secret that real estate has been a solid long-term investment play for just about everyone. So with rents skyrocketing, how can you take advantage and buy some rental property to get in on the action? Good news. Owning now offers a double play cash out loan program where you can refi your mortgage to take out the cash you're sitting on in your home's equity. Then you find a rental property where your cash out refi covers the down payment. The rent covers the new mortgage payment. Owning provides the purchase mortgage. And boom, you're a real estate investor. Of course, you need good credit and enough verifiable income, but why not call 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com to see if the double play is right for you.
For qualified borrowers.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Subject to credit approval. Call 833-303-2160 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
That's 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com.
Did you know that United Healthcare helps connect you to doctors and therapists with 24/7 access to virtual care?
So I could have therapy from my couch?
Yep.
Or a doctor appointment from my car?
If you wanted to.
Wait, you're right. I don't even like when people see me sing in the car. Couch appointment it is. Virtual visits are just one of the ways United Healthcare helps connect you to better health. Learn more at uhc.com. Plan benefits may vary.
O'Reilly. Syntec is back and better than ever at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec is a premium full synthetic motor oil option at an affordable price. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec full synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $31.99. Syntec is formulated for today's engines to minimize friction, heat, and wear. Try Syntec today exclusively at
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Allstate, we've been saying you're in good hands for a long time. But what exactly does that mean? Does it mean you're protected from life's uncertainties? Does it mean you can worry less and live a little more? Does it mean you're not alone, even when things get kind of hard? Actually, yes. Yes, it does. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
It takes 2 vaccines to help protect you this season. The flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast. Featuring Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky. Presented by Timeless Coffee. This is the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game.
The 1-0. Locks in the air. That ball's hit well. That ball's back. Duggar on the track. Makes the catch to end the game. The wind knocked it down. And the ball game is over. And the Giants win game 3, 1-0.
Lux is beside himself at first base. He covered that completely and it stayed in the park.
He cannot believe it did not go out.
Brian Anderson on the call for TBS. Ron Darling. Brian Anderson, by the way, has been really, really good with the play-by-play, the voice of the Brewers. That's Gavin Lux flying out to Steven Duggar. Oh, I thought he had it. Oh, I thought he tied the game. But Camilo Duvall gets a 6-out save. And the Giants on what was a great sports night, a great Monday night of sports. When you think about the Baltimore Ravens coming all the way back against the Colts and winning in overtime, Lamar Jackson throw for over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. Hey, Bill Polian, where you at? Looks like Lamar Jackson can throw from the pocket. You think about the Red Sox Rays, Shasky. Red Sox up 5-0. Rays come all the way back in Fenway Park, and the Red Sox advance to the ALCS with the walk-off in the bottom of the ninth. Yeah, Jock Peterson with another pinch hit home run for Atlanta. They're up 2-1. And, of course, you got the Giants. The Giants in the nightcap winning a thriller, an absolute classic with Max Scherzer shoving, Dave Roberts trying to pull out all the stops. But it was Gabe Kapler's finest hour and Buster Posey catching his 14th shutout. The list goes on and on and on as I say good morning to everybody out there on the roadways, YouTube, Twitch, brought to you by Xfinity, Lake for the Curly. Good morning. And to you, Joe Shasky, how fired up are you to see the Giants up 2-1 after winning that classic, thrilling Game 3 down at Dodger Stadium?
It was an instant classic, and we throw that around a lot. But there's no question in my mind that's what that was. The Giants have given us so many moments, Bonte, so many moments over the years, specifically the last 15 years, but just so many moments. That was the equivalent of the modern day Warren Spahn versus Juan Marichal. The way we talk about that from back in the day. Now, I know that went 16 innings, and I know that was a regular season game, but for a playoff game, 1-0, for the guy who helped clinch the World Series last year in a Game 6, throwing 2 scoreless innings, Alex Wood, to go up against his former team when no one else in the majors wanted him as a starter. For Tyler Rogers, who was completely cast off by myself and everyone in this Giants fan base a year ago to get outs in 3 separate innings. For Jake McGee, who barely pitched down the stretch because he was injured, to come in and get Mookie Betts and to have Crawford make that play at that time in that game. For Evan Longoria to hit a home run when he was the guy we thought would be the difference maker in a trade 5 years ago, to finally have his signature moment against a guy he has struggled against in his years playing in the Eastern Conference, if you will, that NLAL East, because they always play each other in interleague. And then for Camilo Duvall to come through and get not 1, not 2, not 3, but 6 outs against the heart of the Dodger order.
Unbelievable. With
the wind blustery, and everyone's saying this reminds them of Candlestick. It's an iconic game in an iconic rivalry, and it'll go down as an instant classic.
Let's start with Alex Wood, because there's a lot we could pick apart from this baseball game, and we will get to the 49ers at some point. Baldy's going to join us, Brian Baldinger, at 7:30. He had some strong words to say about the 49ers on Twitter yesterday. The 49ers, of course, Trey Lance has a sprained knee. So we'll see what happens there. Hopefully Jimmy could be back at least by the Colts game if Trey Lance can't go. But we'll get to the 49ers a little bit later. John Gruden also resigned as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Boy, we will touch that messy situation. Oh boy, what a bombshell that was. But when we start to talk about the Giants-Dodgers yesterday, game number 3, coming out that 9-2 loss, and I'm thinking Alex Wood, 4.76 ERA at Dodger Stadium this year, 0-2. Oh, boy, they barrel him up. They go 4 2/3 of shutout baseball. And Kapler milked every ounce out of him. And he mowed down the Dodgers, mowed them down. And to go to Tyler Rogers there in the 5th inning, because we talk about this. We've been discussing this, Shasky, for the last 3 weeks. A save situation may come in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th. Well, it was a save situation from the 5th inning on. And to bring in Tyler Rogers there and to milk him into the 7th inning, what a move by Gabe Kapler. He was not messing around. You got what you got from Alex Wood. You leave the game at the bottom of the 5th inning. Dodgers are threatening, and Tyler Rogers comes in and shuts it down and throws a season-high 29 pitches. From Wood to Rogers, let's start right there.
Well, let's start before we get to that. The analytics, right? They've been going by the data all year. Now, we had Mark Willard in the studio yesterday, and I was saying, hey, there's a time and a place where you got to use some of the template that you had all year and realize the playoffs are just different. They're just different. And I know you did things during the regular season, and some of those things are transferable. But waiting on Tyler Rogers till the 7th, 8th, 9th inning in yesterday's game was not the move.
Which you understand why I was thinking Camilo Duvall Saturday night in the 5th inning.
Of course.
I'm not waiting till the 9th inning.
I'm 100%.
These playoff games can get off the rails early, and you will not get back.
Bonte, you're 100% correct. But this is why Gabe Kapler has blended the instincts, what I call the gut, okay? The art of baseball managing with the science, the data, the spreadsheets. They went with certain matchups, but they also went with their gut. Think about what he did here. He let Tyler Rogers come in the middle of the game and get outs in 3 different innings. Then he went to a guy who basically threw only fastballs all year until the playoffs when he decided to mix it up and throw a changeup and a slider. And got outs in crucial spots, in spots where both guys are never accustomed to pitching. How many seventh inning appearances does Jake McGee have this year?
Not many. Okay. But they did flip him around in the 8th at times and the 9th. But in the 7th there, in that situation against Austin Barnes and Mookie Betts, now give Mookie Betts credit. He squared that ball up.
Well, that's the worst thing as a hitter, Bonte. When you hit a rocket and you don't even get out of the batter's box, most demoralizing thing ever.
Unbelievable. And Crawford, that play.
Well, iconic.
I mean,
that's the statue.
I mean, that is unbelievable.
Is that not the statue?
That's the statue.
Right?
That's the statue. Put the statue out there. Where do you put it? Do you put it in right field? Do you put it right in front of the cove? Do you put it in center? Where the hell do you put the statue? Because that is the statue, Shasky. Dodger Stadium in the road grays. You snag that ball. Look, that was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. It came off the bat of Mookie Betts at 100 miles an hour. He scalded it. And as soon as I heard the contact, I said, damn, tie game. Just like that.
Everyone did. Everyone did. And you're thinking, it might be second and third, first and third. This is ugly. Bonte, multiple times, Mookie Betts had opportunities to come up and deliver, and the Giants stifled him multiple times. Look, we're going to forget about Duggar's defense in center field.
It was unbelievable.
Yastrzemski in right. I thought Longoria made a couple of nice plays to get Trey Turner, the lead runner in the inning.
How about Solano?
How about Solano with a sliding career?
And I remember John Curley texted the thread yesterday. Our producer here said, you're going to switch out LaStella? You're going to, Solano second base. I know he did, but he's like, Solano second base. Well, Solano makes a great play there at second base to rob a base hit.
Best defensive play of his career.
Great defensive play there. Mookie Betts grounds out to short in the bottom of the 5th inning against Rogers. He obviously hits that liner to Crawford there in the bottom of the 7th inning, and you get out of there. Look, Gabe Kapler, let's focus on him for a second.
I'm so impressed with him.
Dude, look, he's the NL Manager of the Year. And a lot of people say, boy, can you play Longoria against Max Scherzer? Longoria came in with only 2 hits against Scherzer, batting 105 against Max Scherzer before last night. 2 hits in 22 plate appearances. 1 homer, 2 RBIs, a 105 batting average with 7 strikeouts. And Longoria kept getting out the box because it was windy. And he's like, look, the wind's going to push me over. It's going to pull me over. And this is before the series, Shasky. We were talking about X factors and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I think Longoria's due. Well, he gets off to a rocky start at Oracle Park. Then he hits that ball to left field. Where the night where we just discussed it, the wind's knocking everything down. He hits one out the left field, and that was the difference. And boy, did Longoria need that. But that's Kapler sticking with his guys. Chris Bryant had a single in that game. You're sticking to your guys. Chris Bryant was 2 for 18 against Max Scherzer, actually 2 for 16 in 18 plate appearances. He was batting 125 against Scherzer, sticking with Longo there, keeping him in the lineup, saying, hey, Longo, you're a veteran. I trust you. Just get one. And you know what? He got one, and that was the difference.
Well, I had slept on how productive he was in the postseason with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, I know. Remember
6
that?
career home runs with the Tampa Bay Rays. And they were talking about how many different playoff opportunities he had when he was in Tampa. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I have forgotten because the team had been so bad for so long with the Giants. Mm-hmm. He was the guy they're like, he'll get us over the hill. He'll get us over the hump. He's that playoff-laden guy. You stick at third base and you get Gold Glove defense and you get that timely hitter late in the lineup. And, he's the 15th player to win a 1-0 postseason game with a solo home run. And the first Giants hitter to do that, a 1-0 solo home run to win a playoff game since, listen to this name.
1921, Casey Stengel.
1923, Casey Stengler.
1923 or 21?
23.
All right.
Casey Stengler.
I know.
Are you kidding me?
New York Giants against the New York Yankees.
Are you kidding me?
The more you know.
3 for 44 heading into that at bat. 3 for 44 heading into that at bat.
How much were tickets back then? 50 cents? A quarter? 15?
Popcorn will get you 2 quarters.
Everybody in their seats at the game. Look, Longoria, this is why the trade for Longoria, when it happened, I remember working with Pop. And 2 weeks before that trade happened, I said, I feel like the Giants should kick the tires on Evan Longoria. He's been rotting in Tampa. They're rebuilding. He's had some great playoff moments. His first 2 at-bats, he had home runs. Guy was the AO Rookie of the Year. AO Rookie of the Year. He had big-time playoff moments that people forget about. I was like, make the trade. Now, early on, it didn't work out. There's no doubt. He's stressing. He's playing on grass for the first time, for home games. He's pressing. He's pressing. And everybody looked at the contract and said, man, you know what? Man, this contract looks really, really bad. And I was just like, just stick with the guy. And he came out hot this year. And I was like, finally, the trade is working out. Then he gets hurt. And you see him just kind of grinding. But he has quality at-bats. This is a professional hitter who knows how to play the game. Like, Longoria's never been a scrub.
No.
You know what I'm saying? There's this narrative that he's been a scrub. This guy has come to play, man, and his gold glove defense at third base. Like, think about this. Without him, you're playing Flores or Chris Bryant there, and it's scary hours.
Yeah.
It's scary hours. He mans the hot corner, and he makes plays. I'm so happy for Longoria to have that moment yesterday.
You know, we'll get to Camilo Duvall, but when you have the 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up and the leadoff guy, Trey Turner, one of the fastest players in baseball and one of the best contact hitters in baseball. And he slaps one over to him, and you're going to your left as a third baseman, and you're trying to make a play on the run. He makes it look so easy. That's not an easy play. Defensively, you know, Bonte, I think that Longoria and Crawford stack up against any two, you know, left side of the infield in Giants history.
Wow. Yeah. It's up there. It's up there. So we talk about Longoria and the solo home run in the top of the fifth. They need to get a Giants difference.
And that was a bomb.
Max Scherzer, it was a bomb. 110 miles per hour off the bat. Now, Max Scherzer got into trouble in the first inning. And I'm thinking, man, runners are first to second, one out. You got to get to this guy. Well, Crawford strikes out. Of course, Chris Bryant strikes out. Just looks really overmatched here in the first inning. And look, Scherzer settled in and gave the Dodgers 7 shutout innings. He looked filthy. Jansen looked filthy. Blake Trinan looked filthy, but it wasn't enough because Gabe Kapler, and by the way, Buster Posey, remember we were talking yesterday, 55 postseason games, he's caught 13 shutouts. Well, make that 56 postseason games and 14 shutouts.
Unreal.
The way Posey quarterbacked that game behind the dish, you saw the way he was working with Alex Wood. Come on, let's reset, let's go. The way he was in command behind the plate, and the strike zone was up and down. Look, last 2 nights, Ted Barrett, Angel Hernandez in the last 2 games, strike zone's been all over the place. But on the Morning Roast here on 95.7 The Game, we're not talking strike zone. We're not complaining about the strike zone, whether or not it was fair or not fair. I don't care. You can overcome bad umpiring. You can overcome bad officiating. The Giants overcame that yesterday because Buster Posey was in command behind the dish, whether it was Alex Wood, Tyler Rogers, Camilo Duvall, or Jake McKee. Think about having that guy who's got 3 championships. 3 championships and said, you know what? I'm playing for a Hall of Fame bid, and this may be my last ride. And he commanded behind the dish and just kept everybody calm, cool, and collected. I thought Buster Posey was an unsung hero last night.
Bonte, he painted a portrait like he was Picasso behind the plate. I mean, he really did.
Yeah.
Yogi Berra, Johnny Bench, Derek Jeter. Like, who are the winner guys that you think of in baseball where, you know, they're great talents, but like every team they're on, there's something about them.
Roberto Alomar. Derek Jeter obviously only played one team. I wasn't around for Johnny Bench.
That's my dad. My dad loved Johnny Bench.
But like Paul O'Neill, right?
Paul O'Neill's a great example.
Bernie Williams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Johnny Damon had his years.
Roy Campanella, Yogi Berra are the guys that I think of when we think of like just unreal backstops who were cerebrally controlling the game from behind. Look, Buster Posey is in the Joe Montana bracket for me. And he really is. He's entered the bracket for me because he represents everything you want in a competitor. He is mind over body, and yet the body is still unbelievably great and efficient. And what he did back there, we don't appreciate.
We don't.
The sequencing with which he sets up these pitches. At one point when Duvall came in, he threw 5 straight sliders.
And they were filthy.
Bonte.
And they were filthy.
For a kid with less than 20 appearances in the last 2-3 months to throw 5 straight sliders when you have 101 in your back pocket.
It's unbelievable.
Do you know how much trust you have to have in that all-world catcher behind the dish? Do you know how much guts you have to have as Buster Posey to ask that kid to pitch the pitch that isn't his number one pitch 5 straight times through the meat of the order of the Dodgers? It's a freaking all-time performance from Buster Posey. And we'll forget about it because that's what we do as sports fans. We forget about it. The catcher is the quarterback, the free safety, the middle linebacker, the center, the point guard, whatever position you want to think. He is the cerebral and toughness that you have to have. And when you're strong up the middle like they were last night, Posey, Craw, Duggar.
Unbelievable.
I will ride and die with that all day. Yeah. Duggar had a fantastic game in center field.
He was awesome. He was awesome in center field, tracking it down. Yaz had a great game out there in right field. I thought defensively, this is the team we saw for most of the season, where they were a top 3 defensive team when it came to the lack of committing errors, playing clean baseball. They played clean baseball right last night, and they had to play clean baseball. They only had 3 hits. Hey. They mustered up 3 hits, and you won a baseball game at the Dodger Stadium, and guess what? Now the Dodgers are on the brink. Giants and foe. Giants and foe. I would love to see these boys popping champagne tonight at Dodger Stadium. That's what I want tonight. I want to close these bums out.
Here's the beauty. Walker Buehler on short rest isn't the same guy. He's just not. Look at the data. It tells you. I hope they throw Walker Buehler. We squared him up in game 1. We will take him down again today. Look, Bonte, the Giants are in a great position. I know you were...
Shasky, were you screaming the video you posted last night after the game? We said, beat LA, Camelo Duvall. Did you lose your voice?
Yeah, a little. Why? Does it sound like that?
Yeah, you lost your voice. It was
I'm there.
Even a text line said, man, it sounds like Shasky was at the game last night.
I got the Mucinex. I got the throat spray.
Were you at Dodger Stadium?
No, I was on my couch.
Did you take Spirit Airlines this morning to get back?
It was me and Leonidas, the puppy. Actually, he's 10 years old now. His birthday was just the other day. But, yeah, I was just chilling watching the game, dude. I don't know how you couldn't be on edge watching that game.
It was an unbelievable baseball game.
I want to get back to Kappa for just a second here. Bonte, think about what he did. He played Chris Bryant, who hadn't played first base for them all year. Hadn't really played first base at any point in his career, I don't think. All right? They had him at first. They had the guts to go with Alex Wood, which a lot of people, even though I know it was like okay, I'll come around on it, Alex Wood. There was a little uncertainty on what you were going to get from Alex Wood. Yeah. And then you go to Tyler Rogers in the 5th, 6th, and 7th. McGee comes in. Everybody's thinking to themselves the same thing. Oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. And then you're thinking, there's no way they're going to go 6 full outs with Camilo Duvall. This was the template game where he just threw the data out the window and went straight with the gut. And you know what? The guy deserves all the credit in the world. Gabe Kapler has painted this thing beautifully. He's Ansel Adams today.
Longoria, playing Longoria. That homer broke a brutal 1 for 35 stretch. 36-year-old was 1 for 35.
Slump buster
last night with a big home run as the Giants go up 2-1 over the LA Dodgers. Game number 4 tonight, 6:37 p.m. Anthony DeSclafani on the mound. We'll get to him a little later. We'll break down the game a little bit later. Duval.
Bonte, look, let's just put the rat on the table here.
We got to save your thoughts. Save your thoughts on the other side. We got a special postseason edition of Gabe's World. Also, Dave Fleming at 8 o'clock here in the Morning Roast. Baldy at 7:30.
I'll spray
It'll be a lot of fun. Dr. Nirav Pandya. He's going to join us on the roast at 6:45 to talk some injuries here with the 49ers. That's all coming up here on the game. Brought to you by BMW in Fairfield. Brought to you by BMW in Fairfield. Now open in
Why not call 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com to see if the double play is right for you.
For qualified borrowers.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Subject to credit approval. Call 833-303-2160 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
That's 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com.
Red Hot Chili Peppers are back, live on stage with very special guests, Beck and Thundercat. Levi Stadium, Friday, July 29th, 2022. American Express card members, you can get early access to tickets. The Amex presale is available now through Thursday, October 14th at 10 p.m. before the general public on Friday, October 15th at 10 a.m. For Amex presale tickets, visit Ticketmaster.com. Supplies limited. American Express terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
It's October, and this is postseason baseball. The National League Division Series presented by Good Sam continues today. Brewers-Braves at 5 Eastern and Giants-Dodgers at 9 Eastern, only on TBS. Go to MLB.com/postseason for the full schedule.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV.
And I'm that voice from movies you watch on demand. DirecTV Stream brought us together to save the world.
Maybe not save the world, but DirecTV Stream does bring your live and on-demand favorites together.
Your favorites together.
I just said that.
She just said that.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at DirecTV.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device. Content varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
Wake up to Wendy's and get a bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss breakfast croissant for just $1.99. Made with fresh cracked eggs and served on a hot buttery croissant that's fluffy enough to sleep on. It's time to wakey. Hit the Wendy's drive-thru and get your bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss breakfast croissant for just $1.99. That's a better breakfast for just $1.99. Only at Wendy's. We got you.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery prices may vary. Not valid in the combo.
Fly ball left field, hit pretty well. Back on it is Pollock. This ball's carrying, and this ball is gone. Evan Longoria puts the Giants on top.
Now, back to the morning roast, presented by Timeless Coffee with Bonte and Shasky.
My man's Evan Longoria breaks a 1-for-35 slump and scores the only run yesterday. A solo shot off of Max Scherzer in the top of the fifth inning to give the Giants a 1-0 lead that would hold true as they take a 2-1 lead over the LA Dodgers in what was an epic game. Number 3 down at Dodger Stadium. The wind was blowing. It was 50 miles per hour. It wasn't Southern California weather. Alex Wood gives you 4 2/3. Gabe Kapler goes to Tyler Rogers in the 5th. You go Jake McGee in the 7th. You go Camilo Duvall, the rookie, for a 6-out save at Dodger Stadium. It gets the heart of the lineup, and you come out with a victory. My. Giants on the brink of going to the NLCS. All they got to do is win one of the next 2 games, which will not be easy.
We'll get more into Duvall. John Curley, I'm sure you've played there. Bonte, have you ever played there? Crocker Park.
Oh, no doubt.
On a Tuesday afternoon, for example, at about 5:30, 6 o'clock, when the wind is howling.
Well, I played at Crocker when the wind's howling. I played at Rossi Park when the wind is howling.
Yep, that's a good wind tunnel.
I played at West Sunset when the wind is howling.
Yeah.
Excelsior, actually, the one time I played at Excelsior, they got the fence in right field. It was actually a nice day there. But, no, I hear you. That was candlestick wind. Last night was San Francisco. Because you know what was funny? Yesterday, the city. It was very windy.
Yes.
It was very windy yesterday.
This morning, too.
Yeah, it's very windy. So
right
the
now.
wind has traveled down to Southern California. And, you know, you got Dave Roberts crying, said, oh, well, you know, if the wind wasn't howling, we would have had a couple home runs. Well, you know what? It is what it is.
Look, if you're going to play that game, then play it the other way. Yeah. It looked like Yastrzemski hit a home run, and that ball was knocked down by the wind. It looked like Crawford hit a home run. That ball was knocked down by the wind. Oh, you want to say, it only happened to the Dodgers? Well, what about that ball that was blown from basically the out-of-bounds area, the foul territory area, all the way to the net that they would have made the last out on? Mm-hmm. So you want to play this wind thing. It aided you in carrying the ball all the way to the net to give you an extra foul pitch. I'm so sick of the excuses from the Dodgers. It just, the wind
how about
was
this
awesome.
one, though?
The wind was
Gavin
awesome.
Lux hit the final pitch of the game, it was 107 miles per hour. 106.9 to be exact, but I'm going to round up. 107 miles per hour and at a 22-degree launch angle. Batters this season on balls hit 106, 107 miles per hour and at a 22-degree launch angle were 55 for 62, batting 887. 887 with 38 home runs, excuse me. Think about that. At that degree, 107 miles per hour, 22-degree launch angle, batters this season on balls hit 107 miles per hour and a 22-degree launch angle, they were 55 for 62, batting 887 with 38 home runs. Dodgers have 4 such hits this year. All were homers. That's crazy.
No, you know what that is? That's October baseball.
Yep,
That's what happens. How many times have we seen Chicago and Boston and New York, and you get into the middle of October and the weather starts to play a factor? I'm so sick of the whining and the crying. You know what, Bonte? If that stat was 1,000, bad hitters were 1,000, and this was the first time ever, I'd be like, wow, lightning struck. Guess what? Baseball happened. October happened. Stop crying about spilt milk, Dodger fans.
Yep.
Get over it.
Get over it. Let's go to Gabe's World, Shasky.
Let's do it.
I think we'll go with a little Bohemian Rhapsody, gentlemen.
Good call.
When it comes to Gabe Kapler, anything goes.
First of all, I think pressure is always a good thing. The brightest lights can sometimes bring out the best performance.
Now he's been ejected. Kapler's been ejected by Joe West.
Panda costumes and baby giraffes and all of the fans of San Francisco.
Gabe Kapler's 100% right. Kapler launches one. Fair foul. It's gone! Gabe Kapler has won it!
It's time for Gabe's World.
To show how fired up we are, normally Steven and I will think about what we're going to, play with Kapler. Steve, why don't you get in here and tell us what Gabe Kapler cut that you're going to play?
2 words. Camilo Doval.
Yeah, I think tonight was particularly impressive because it's one thing to ask a guy to close out big games without a long track record of success, and it's kind of another step to do what he did, to come in an inning that wasn't necessarily going to be his inning, but you just kind of found yourself right in the middle of the lineup, and he was certainly the right guy for that moment. But then to have him be so successful in that first inning and him have so much confidence to go back out there and do it again, I think this one was the most impressive of all. Not necessarily from a stuff perspective. Slider's been nasty at times. He's kind of 100, 101 like he was tonight. So that wasn't the surprise. It was just the calm, the poise, the teammate behavior to get back out there and do it for a second inning was really impressive.
So after the 8th inning, he walks off the mound like he's going to the grocery store. Like, no emotion, not even a fist pump. The kid is next level. Like, let's call it what it is, Bonte.
Hey,
he's a superstar.
This guy couldn't throw strikes. He couldn't throw strikes earlier this season. And Shasta goes, man, this guy's got future closer something. Dude, pump the brakes.
You laughed at me, I know.
Pump the brakes. All right, let's talk about that next season. Come back in 2022. This guy comes back up in September. And I said, oh, my gosh. This guy, Shasky, was right. First appearance in September, I was like, oh, my gosh. This fastball's electric. How did he control the slider? Now, remember that first at-bat, he almost hit somebody. Remember it was wild, almost hit? Who was it against, Colorado or Arizona? Forget which team. But he almost hit somebody. I'm like, all right, that's enough of Camilo Doval. This guy has been nails. Nails. Now, you saw a little excitement yesterday with the tapping of the glove, but he's sitting there just looking at Buster Posey, and they're just like, Posey's like, give me the slider. Give me the fastball.
I couldn't believe it.
Give me the slider. The slider on the black. First of all, the slider straight. Who was it? Barnes, I believe.
Yeah.
Who was in the 9th inning? It was on the black. I could be wrong there. Just like, it was just pure filth.
It was ridiculous.
It was pure filth. I was like, yeah, that pitch is not fair.
And he threw a couple wasted pitches just to see if guys would chase.
Yeah, I know.
He's so in command, it's unreal.
I think it was Pollock, A.J. Pollock.
There you go, A.J. Pollock. Bonte, he was so in command, he did not sweat. I mean, I had no fear whatsoever. And maybe I'm the only one in San Francisco.
You know what?
Bonte,
we were in our thread.
You were
said,
freaking out.
I was like, 6 outs? You're going to have this kid go 6 outs? Why not Castro? Why not somebody like 6 outs? I'm thinking about tomorrow, right?
He went 15 pitches in the 8th inning.
I know.
And I said to you, this kid could throw 50 tonight.
I know. I was thinking about tonight. I was thinking about tonight saying I need him for tomorrow too because Rogers, you got to think he's unavailable, right?
Rogers is done for tonight. He's done for tonight.
29
but
pitches.
This is I'm glad you brought this up. The all hands on deck philosophy of last night. That's what playoff baseball is. That's why I love the way Kapler managed this game. This is not 162 throughout the regular season. This is not against, Tuesday against the Arizona Diamondbacks. You had to have that game tonight. How much better? Bonte, I know you wasted some of these guys. Wasted. Right. You won the game.
You had to win that game.
You won the game.
You know why?
And you know what? I'll worry about today.
I hear you.
And I'll figure out who's out there today. And if I get into a situation today and I feel like I can close it out today, I'm going to use Logan Webb for an inning or two because I know I'll give myself 4 extra days of rest. Like, this is all about the feel. And last night, once that kid got in, I felt like the game was over because that's how much I love this kid.
Yeah, well, it's different to feel. I'm just looking, and I'm saying, okay, 2, 3, 4, you go Duvall there in the 8th inning, I'm fine with that. 6 outs? How many bullets is he going to have to use?
How many did he use?
Yeah, he didn't use many.
25.
He didn't use many. If you get into the 35 range, I'm thinking, man, you may not have Rogers and Duvall for a pivotal game 4, but I will say this. You had to win game 3. I'm looking at the Tampa Bay Rays, right? I thought they got jobbed in game 3 with the ground rule double. I thought they got jobbed. But you lose that game, and now you're facing elimination at Fenway Park.
That's what I'm saying.
You lose that game last night, and you're facing elimination tonight at Dodger Stadium
on the road
with Anthony DeSclafani on the mound with that crowd going crazy. That's a different type of pressure. Now you get to exhale a little bit saying, all right, we got 2 chances. Now, however, I don't want to see in game 5. Wrap these dudes up tonight. Beat these dudes up tonight. But the story, like Duvall going in there for 6 outs, and I'm thinking to myself, the Giants have themselves a closer for as long as he's healthy for the next 10 years.
Let me give you my sports philosophy. I am riding, dying with my thoroughbreds.
No doubt.
Camilo is my thoroughbred.
No doubt.
Right now, the way seasons play out, JD and I have talked about this a lot. Seasons happen, and what you thought at the beginning of the year or in the middle of the year,
it changes.
It
evolves.
Totally changes.
No doubt.
Some guys become unplayable in certain matchups. Camilo Duvall has emerged, and now, I don't know what it is, Bonte, this is the dude. He's the dude. That was Kenley Jansen type stuff that he did yesterday.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
It was poetic with him and Lux going against each other because it was a microcosm of the Giants and Dodgers in general. Like, Lux was the number 1 overall prospect. Duvall was the 24th ranked prospect in the Giants system. The Dodgers, the golden children of Major League Baseball, supposed to be the best team. I mean, everything surrounding that last out, it was perfect.
It was perfect. It was perfect.
He's pitched one time in a week. So last night was the second time. So
I hear you.
I'm looking at it from a young kid's arm. He's built like a tank.
He is built like
his legs are huge.
He is. No, it was a great call by
God, I
Kapler.
love this kid.
It was a great call by Kapler. Knowing his personnel, knowing his guys. And look, this is why Saturday night when I looked at Dominic Leone, you talk about going with your thoroughbreds. I wasn't confident with Leone there.
You're right.
Saturday night. But you know what? Duvall, the Giants get the win last night. And you know what? He's not going back to those guys. It's Duvall. Maybe not Tyler Rogers today.
I think Leone gets a chance today. I do.
What about Castro?
I love Castro. Next year it's going to be Castro, McGee, Rogers, and Duvall as your 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th inning guys.
Got good problems ahead. That's a good problem to have here as the Giants go up 2-1. Don't forget this segment was presented by Go to State. Go to State Lumber as an essential service. Their lumber yards remain open from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Call 855-GSL-YARD or visit GoToStateLumber.com for more information on that. Also, download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game to get breaking news updates as well as links to the top interviews. Michael Irvin, he was on with DRK yesterday. We'll play some sound from that. That was one of the best moments on the game. Powered by DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Why do we find popping bubble wrap so satisfying? Why do we say boop when we touch somebody?
free, no-obligation price quote. That's 1-800-449-1387. When you want quality bathroom products at a great price, it's got to be BCI Bath & Shower. That's 1-800-449-1387.
Hey, it's Boomer Esiason. When you have your own business, you basically have to do everything. That includes hiring, which can become a second job. That's why there's Indeed, the all-in-one hiring platform that makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all in one place. With smart tools like Instant Match, you instantly get a list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed fit your job description the minute you sponsor a job. Spend less time sifting through resumes and more time saying, you're hired. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Hey, it's Boomer Esiason. Want to look like $1 million but only spend a handful of bucks? Upgrade to Dollar Shave Club with the Ultimate Shave Starter Set for only $5. Get a 6-blade razor, prep scrub, shave butter, and post-shave dew for a noticeably smooth shave. Plus free shipping. After that, razors ship at regular price. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/boomer. That's dollarshaveclub.com/boomer. Dollar Shave Club. It's what dreams are shaved of. Welcome to the club.
Get that satisfying crunch. Now with 20% more honey. Try a delicious Nature Valley Oats and Honey Crunchy Bar with more of the honey you love.
And that is a ladder caught by Crawford. Brandon Crawford goes up the ladder. Takes a hit away from Mookie Betts. Inning is over. And the defense is shining brightly tonight. Timed his jump perfectly. Got the hair flying. McGee pumping the fist. And the Giants are out of it.
Now, back to the morning roast. Presented by Timeless Coffee with Bonte and Shasky.
You know, Bonte, for the longest time, I have asked you and begged you to get me on NBC Sports Bay Area, right?
Yeah, you have begged. And I don't know why. Like, you're asking me like I got some juice or something.
Finally,
I just got there.
A video has emerged, and I just sent it to your text, with me on NBC Sports Bay Area. They showcased all of the best Twitter reactions last night from that game. And most of them were actual game footage, but then they had your boy in there screaming and yelling. So I made it, Ma. I made it on the TV. My aunt sent me that this morning, and I'm feeling pretty good about myself right now. Well, finally on TV.
Well, you know what?
Even though it's the website.
Well, you know what? Now you no longer have to beg me now. No longer have to beg me. You made it. You made it. Leave me alone now. Leave me alone now. Just leave me alone now with NBC. I damn near got you this job.
Well, you did.
I mean, now you're begging me for another job. What else?
Why are we celebrating this?
Yeah, exactly. Why? Never made a website before?
I just want to thank Taylor Worth, who's writing for NBC Bay Area Sports. Always been a big fan of your work, and just want to say thank you.
Oh, my gosh. Brian Anderson on the call there.
Holy Christ, this is cool.
Brian Anderson. BA, we got to talk to BA. We got to get with BA. He's a big fan of the Morning Roast. We had him on about a month. You're out on vacation. BA joined us, I believe, Shasky, but he was on the call there for TBS. A lot of people complaining about the national broadcast. I thought Brian Anderson was great last night.
They were fine.
Dude, he's the voice of the Brewers. He knows his baseball. Dude, I think he was fine. Ron Darling, I'm not mad at him.
Well, Ron Darling, some ridiculous things he said, but that's neither here.
Whatever. Who cared? But I thought BA was good. The Crawford play there, the bottom of the seventh inning. Mookie Betts up. Jake McGee comes in. Now, I already know what was going through your head because you've been on these airways, and I get it. He throws one pitch
against righties. His deficiencies against righties.
Against righties. So he goes up there in this Austin Barnes, and I see Jake McGee coming out the bullpen. I'm like, oh gosh. I go, oh gosh. He hasn't pitched much since he's been hurt.
Who else
and he comes out there. I thought they were going to go Castro, but that's a big spot.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, but righty, I don't know. And they go Jake McGee. Gabe Copper goes Jake McGee. He gets Austin Barnes to strike out. I'm like, all right, that's cool. But now he has to face Mookie Betts. You can't substitute him out because of the 3-batter minimum. And he goes there, and Mookie Betts squares it up. it hits a seed, an absolute rocket, in Brandon Crawford in what has been a career season. Snags it out of the air. He had like a 50-inch vert on that play, it felt like. It snatches it. And then, so you know, Mookie Betts, you see his reaction? God, dang it. And Mookie Betts gets robbed.
I'm telling you, the worst thing in sports, of all the things in sports, the worst thing is in baseball when you hit a rocket with runners on and you think you got all of it, even if it's just a line drive into the gap, and you don't even get out of the box, and the other guy makes a great stab. It is demoralizing to the bench, to the hitter. And did you see the reaction from Mookie Betts?
Oh, I loved it.
I loved every second of it.
I loved it.
I always tell you about the Cartman licking the tears of his enemies, you know, and
think about where Mookie Betts was going that entire game, though, because, you know, he leads off, doesn't do anything. And then the next at bat comes in with a situation with Alex Wood where he could have scored Albert Pujols.
Runner on third.
Has the 10-pitch at bat.
Yes.
Pops out there. Then he has another chance again with 2 outs to possibly score another runner with the 2 runners on that Tyler Rogers left. He hit a good ball, but they had the double play, and then he comes in and does that with Crawford. It was just a unfortunate night for Mookie.
10-pitch at bat was classic.
It was ridiculous. But again, I think you hit on something here. Stopping their best players. Like, I know Bellinger had his moment in game 2, and so did Will Smith.
Right.
And those guys, they have so many great players. It's hard to suppress them all.
Mm-hmm.
Stopping the leadoff hitter in Mookie Betts and slowing him down, to me, has been crucial for this entire series. I think they've done a great job against Trey Turner in this entire series. How many times have Betts and Turner been on in the same inning? I don't think it's happened.
Not many. I don't think it's happened once.
You know, like,
that's a good call.
So, like, to me, the way I kept looking at it was like, especially when Duvall comes in there, 8th inning, 2, 3, 4 hitters, getting that first out, getting Trey Turner out, and Longoria helping him out with that ground ball. That felt massive to me.
It did feel massive. So don't forget this segment is presented by Golden State Lumber. As an essential service, their lumber yards remain open from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Call 855-GSL-YARD or visit GoldenStateLumber.com. Brian Baldinger will join us in 35 minutes. It's some strong things to say about the 49ers.
Oh,
very strong things to say about the Niners and what's going on with that offense. Trey Lance sprained knee. We'll see about Jimmy Garoppolo. Looks like there's some good news there, but we will talk some 49ers with Brian Baldinger at 7:30 plus 888-957-9570. It is a Detective Tuesday. Who, what, when, where, why? I'll throw out the questions a little bit later in the show. I want to hear, how'd you watch the game last night? How are you feeling going into the game, and how are you feeling right now? Do you feel like the Giants are closing it out tonight with Anthony DeSclafani on the mound? Whoo! It's going to be fun. What you got, Shasky?
Roasters, I'm back. Another episode of Elevate Your Tailgate. Check it out, 957thegame.com. Also check it out on all the social media channels, YouTube, IG, Twitter, you name it, we got it. Elevate Your Tailgate, brought to you by Chef's Toys, a kitchen and restaurant supply store trusted by grill masters and tailgate kings like your boy. Visit cheftoys.com or a store near you. That's Chef Toys, CHEFSTOYS.com.
Anthony DeSclafani, the starter for the Giants tonight. It sounds like the Dodgers will go to Walker Buehler, although that's not confirmed. Dave Roberts, the manager of the L.A. Dodgers, said all hands are on deck. All hands on deck. But Anthony DeSclafani is starting tonight for the Giants at Dodger Stadium this season. It hasn't been pretty, right? 4.60 ERA. He's 0-1. Started 3 games, pitched 15 2/3, gave up 16 hits, 8 runs, 5 jacks, and walked 7 guys. Dodgers hit 262 against him down at Dodger Stadium. But you know what? To me, it doesn't matter, because what I saw Friday, September 3rd, against the Dodgers in that last regular season series, that was a gotta-have-it game. It was a gotta-have-it series. And DeSclafani went 6 innings in that game, gave up 2 hits, walked 3, but didn't give up a run in that game as the Giants won 3-2 in 11 innings. I like that start. Just like Walker Buehler, when he got rocked, it put something in his head saying, damn, they finally touched me up. For DeSclafani, going out there and shutting down the Dodgers in 6 innings, it kind of helped him out, saying, you know what? All right, that's cool. And he had an up and down September, but I feel a little better about DeSclafani. But again, these bats, They got to do something to get the Giants a lead early in this baseball game to settle him down because he's gotten off to rocky starts in the first inning down at Dodger Stadium.
100%. And they also need to continue to play clean defense. Defense is the key. I think the only error of the series for the Giants right now is the Crawford throw over to Logan Webb in game 1, I believe. They need to continue that trend. Defense has been outstanding. I put Duggar back in center field. That's just me. I would like to put Duggar back in center field. Yaz, although it felt like he just missed a home run last night, him and Lamont Wade, one of those two's got to get it going.
Yeah.
One of them's just got to get it going.
No doubt.
And B, DeSclafani, getting the extra day of rest is massive for him. Massive for him down the stretch. He's in uncharted waters.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys have not pitched this long into the season at this spot in the calendar. A lot of innings that he's accumulated this year. So I'll be very interested to see what he looks like with a little bit of extra rest.
And he hasn't been good against the Dodgers.
No.
He has not been good against the Dodgers. Now, Alex Wood had not been good against the Dodgers. Did you see him yesterday? I mean, that was gutty. It was gutty. You know what I'm saying? It was a gutty performance by Alex Wood. But how does DeSclafani replicate that? How does he eat up innings for this Giants team? Because, boy, I would love to see them wrap this up. Now, obviously, everybody would like to see them oust the Dodgers. But it's the way you do it. If I could save Webb and Gosman and have them ready to go on full rest for the NLCS, and I can save Tyler Rogers for Saturday game 1 against whoever, the Braves or the Brewers, it would go a long way for this team. And I know it's October baseball. Things get hairy here, and you can't think about tomorrow. You got to think about tonight. But I need 5-6 clean innings from DeSclafani.
B, I hear everything you're saying. The reality is these guys are going to throw on the side. Like Logan Webb was going to probably throw 35, 40 pitches anyway on the side in the next day or two. So might as well be in a game. And it's different, totally different stress on the arm, stress on the body. I think Doval's got at least one inning in him tonight. I think he's got at least one inning in him. You still have Castro. And I do think Leon is going to get another shot at some point. It may not be tomorrow, or tonight, excuse me. It may not be until the next series if they can advance. He will have an opportunity to redeem himself.
That's
Castro? How this thing works.
No Castro?
I think Castro... I would use Castro, but I think they'll use Castro in a lower leverage situation to try to build him up.
I hear you. You are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and AC1 San Francisco and Odyssey Station. Giants won the game last night, 1-0 down at Dodger Stadium. What a well-pitched game on both sides. Max Scherzer was absolutely dominant. 7 innings pitched. Only gave up 3 hits, struck out 10, threw 110 pitches, emptied the clip on the Giants. Kelly Jensen just came in and struck out the side. He looks as good as ever. But Alex Wood, 4 2/3. Tyler Rogers bridging that gap and getting the win. In the bottom of the 5th inning, getting Mookie Betts, the crowd out there. And then, of course, gets into the 7th inning. Jake McGee gets 2 big out there in the bottom of the 7th. And Camilo Duvall with a 6-out save, kind of like Mariano Rivera. And he did it with ease. You know when you showed Gabe Kapler? If Kapler right before the 9th inning goes, I got this, Poppy. We got that soundbite. I got this, Poppy. He was talking at their game. You see the fit that he had out yesterday. Camilo Duvall's got some swag. Did you know that Camilo Duvall, I was reading this the other day, Shasky. He's 24 years old. He's got 23 half brothers and sisters.
Wow.
23.
Wow.
That's insane. His story is incredible. Johnny Cueto kind of took this guy in spring training. Here's what
Wait a minute on 23. Just real quick before you go to that. What's the most amount of kids in a family, of some family that you know? What's the most out there?
I don't know. Not 23.
Anybody?
I mean, I've got 9 half brothers and sisters.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know
6 on my
that.
dad's side and 3 on my mom's side.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
The Grove family had 10 at St. Gabriel's, and then the Fahey family
who are
at
the Grove
Epiphany.
family? Who are these people?
Oh, these are people I grew up with.
all
And then the Fahey family has 13.
Okay.
That's the big Irish families, bro.
Yeah,
what can I say?
I mean, Camilo Duvall's got 23.
23. So combine the two families.
He's got a football team.
And that's
You
Camilo
can play
Duvall.
offense and defense. You can play a football game.
You can play a soccer game.
11 on 11 with the sub.
23.
Here's what Duvall told Kapler before the 9th inning.
What was your reaction when Gabe told you were going out for a second inning tonight?
¿Cuál fue tu reacción cuando el manager Kapler te dijo que ibas a salir al segundo inning?
Me dijo, one more, le dije, I got it, papi, I'm ready.
No translation needed on that one, right?
I got it, Poppy. I'm ready.
Unbelievable.
I got it, Poppy. I'm ready. This guy could throw a strike earlier this season. He just went off to AAA. We forgot about him. He goes out to AAA, figures some things out, comes up for a quick little stint in August, has a shutout inning, goes back down to AAA, and in September, Shasky, the month of September, just look at these sick numbers.
16 and a quarter innings, or 2/3 innings.
Yeah. That since September 5th.
Yeah.
September 5th. 16 and 2/3 of an inning. He's given up 5 hits. He struck out 19 batters. Hasn't given up a run.
Come on, dog.
Hasn't given up a run.
Last night was a throwback OG Don Sutton type of a game, Bruce Sutter type of a game. That's what that one was. I mean, that's you throw multiple innings in a playoff game, the cojones from the manager and from the kid. And did he ever look phased?
No.
Did he break character at all?
No.
Did he show any at the end? He showed a little bit of emotion, but like I can't get over the kid, man. I really
Kid's
can't.
A star. The kid's a star.
Dante, he had never been higher than single A at the beginning of this year. Think of what this staff has done with Doval. Think of what this coaching regime and this organization has done with him.
You think Farhan stashed him, was like, these guys have no idea what's coming in September.
Here's the thing I think is a misnomer.
Because think about it. We all want to Craig Kimbrell. We said they need a closer. They need a closer. They need a closer. They don't make a trade for a closer. And Doval comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, damn, I'm glad they didn't go get Kimbrell. I'd much rather have Doval right now in this role. I'd like seeing this kid blossom here as a 24-year-old.
I think this is the misnomer about Farhan. Farhan's changed everything. He's changed a lot of things, and I'm not taking anything away from Farhan in terms of changing. He's also simultaneously made the most of what was here before. How many times do we see in different sports where somebody takes over a regime and they gut everything?
Right.
Like, we're talking about Gruden this morning, okay? And, Gruden's ousted now with the Raiders. What did he do early on with Oakland? He gutted it completely. Yep. Got rid of everyone. You can't coach any of these good players?
Yeah.
What? Farhan and this organization took a Bobby Evans and Brian Sabian acquisition in Doval and molded him into something we could have never seen. They took Brandon Crawford and Posey and Longoria and these guys that were already here, and instead of just trading them all away, made the most out of what they had. To me, that's way more impressive than just shipping people off and waiting for 5 years.
There's no doubt about that. Speaking of which, Gruden is all over the televisions right now. Dave Fleming's going to join us at 8. We will get back into the Giants. A big game for tonight. Anthony DeSclafani on the bump for the Giants. We'll see who pitches for the Dodgers as the Giants have a chance to close out the Dodgers and advance to the National League Championship Series for the first time since 2014. They got a chance to oust their arch rivals down at Dodger Stadium. How fun would it be to see them pop champagne inside of Dodger Stadium? It would be really, really cool. But now that we got a couple minutes here, Shasky, before we get to Baldy at 7:30, and we want to take your phone calls here, 888-957-9570 with some news with the 49ers. The John Gruden situation. Oh, boy. He resigned from the Las Vegas Raiders yesterday after the New York Times released an article that, look, it'd take us all day to go through because there were so many nuggets and so many details about emails he passed along to Bruce Allen and others where Gruden used misogynistic terms, racist language, anti-gay language in numerous emails over the course of a decade. And these emails were leaked yesterday, and Gruden basically said, you know what? I'm walking away. He had about for 5 years left and $50 million after this season, or was it 6 years left and $60 million?
Just over 6 years left in his deal, yeah.
Wow. So the Raiders
just six
and $60 million, and we'll see what happens with the terms of the money or whatnot. It sounds like the Raiders may be off the hook for this, but he basically walked away from the football team in what was an absolute bombshell on a great night of sports on a Monday night.
So investigators seized all of the computers during the Washington football scandal that was going on in their front office. And Bruce Allen, who had obviously deep connections with the Raiders, and John Gruden.
And Tampa Bay as well.
Was sending emails from the company, a.k.a. the Washington football team email address, and Gruden was sending from his personal email address, and this was over however many years. We're not even really sure however many years. Over 650,000 emails were collected.
That's unbelievable.
And they were rifling through them. I mean, Bonte, any one of these things could get him in a lot of trouble and could get him quote unquote canceled. All of these in their totality. The thing that I walk away with, and again, I'm not pretending to be holier than thou. I've made lots and lots and lots of mistakes in my life. Believe me, nothing drives me more crazy than hearing a bunch of people say, I'm perfect and that person made a mistake and they need to be canceled and blah, blah. So I'm not here to reside over John Gruden like I'm holier than thou. But I always am taken back. If you are using language like that over a course of lots and lots and lots of years and lots of emails, if you're using that in an email setting, imagine what you're saying at the dinner table. Imagine what you're saying in casual conversations. And that's the part where it's just and he's not alone. John Gruden's not the only person talking like this. And look, full disclosure, there are certain words that I've used in my life that I want back, derogatory amongst lots of different things. And the vernaculars have changed. I've been educated and I've become more aware of how hurtful some of the language that I've used in the past is. So I'm not here to say that I'm perfect, because I am not. I am far from it. I don't pretend to be. But you can't be running this organization. Now, can he be redeemed individually, personally? Yeah, down the line,
he's done coaching in the NFL.
Maybe he can be redeemed.
He's
in the
done
NFL,
coaching.
He's lost that privilege.
He's done.
Yes.
He's lost the privilege to
and
coach
he'll never
in the
be
NFL.
On TV.
And he's lost the privilege to be a broadcaster.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to cheat John Gruden. And by the way, I think it's a blessing in disguise for the Raiders. Now, what he said was nasty. Because he wasn't a good coach. He wasn't a good coach for this football team. As you said, he just tore down everything. Okay. To trade Khalil Mack. How about how poetic, as Joe Spinotti tweeted out yesterday, I brought up, how poetic was it that Khalil Mack got the last laugh against John Gruden after being traded and jettisoned from the Raiders to Chicago for all those picks? I remember when Gruden re-signed with the Raiders, and I did that show with G. Papa, who was the voice of the Raiders back then. And I said, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but everybody's throwing a party about John Gruden becoming a coach again of the Raiders. His last 4 or 5 seasons with Tampa Bay Buccaneers stunk.
Yeah.
After he won the Super Bowl, his offense is never ranked higher than 18th. He had some of the worst offenses in the NFL. And teams are starting to catch up to John Gruden. He had 3 Pro Bowlers out of his 61 draft picks in the last 3 to 4 years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was awful. One of those was Akeem Talib, who became a Pro Bowler after he left Tampa Bay. John Gruden stunk as a head coach. He stunk. And you see the Raiders lose 2 in a row. They're heading to Denver this week. Ain't no guarantee they're going to win that football game. Some of these coaches that get a lot of leeway, Gruden getting a lot of leeway here with the Raiders. It's a joke. He wasn't a good coach, and now he's a garbage human being.
Yeah, garbage human
after
being
seeing the emails, he's a garbage human being.
Exactly.
So you know what? The Raiders will be better for it. What Al Davis stood for in that organization when it came to hiring minorities and all the staff. You look at the Raiders staff. Mark Davis had to do this, and Gruden came. That's how, Gruden came to Mark Davis, basically said, I'm parting ways. Who knows what else is coming out when it comes to John Gruden and these emails?
One thing I've learned, and I want to get Steven, because he's the biggest Raider fan on the show. I want to get his thoughts in just a second. One thing I've learned in life, when someone tells you who they are, listen. Listen to what they're saying. And what they say behind closed doors speaks volumes. What they say in these tiny little settings and when you're not in the room speaks volumes. You said garbage head coach, and then you said garbage human being. Bonte, you hit the nail on the head. And again, I'm not trying to preside over someone like I'm holier than thou. I am far from it. But there's no coming back from some of these things. Steven, get in here. You're the biggest Raider fan we got here on the station. What's your thoughts on this whole thing?
Something just hasn't felt right the entire time ever since he has been hired. That's why there's that website, isgrudengonyet.com, which had a ticker of his contract and all the money that he's made, because people were waiting for him to go. And ever since then, and the way that players have reacted to him, Amari Cooper not wanting to play for him, then everything that happened with the offensive line this past season, Rodney Hudson being the captain of the team, he didn't want to play for him anymore. It just didn't feel right. But the thing that struck me on the way in, and as I was kind of thinking about it, is he was more than just a Raiders head coach. Before he became the head coach of the Raiders again, he was propped up as an unofficial ambassador for the NFL.
100%.
He was the football guy, the nerd that loves football and all this stuff
the modern John Madden in many ways.
Yeah. And now it's just all of this comes out. It really makes you think about, this can't be the only case of this happening.
I wonder why it came out now. Why now?
Why do you
John
think?
Gruden?
Why do you think?
Did he tick somebody off? What? Why now?
Because enough is enough. I mean, how many?
I'm glad it did come out. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much.
Look, you and I have talked about this off air. When you're in a locker room and you're playing ball with anyone, when you're part of a team like we are here, and even though it's not pro sports, like you got to be inclusive, you know, and you got to understand that everybody's coming together. When I heard Randy Moss's statements on and how powerful that was. Again, Randy Moss is a very, he's an individual I struggle with because he's not perfect by any means. But I think at the core of what he was saying, the message was right on the head. He said, I met people in the locker room who I would have never met in my normal life. And I learned to love them and see them on how they walk and appreciate their particular culture. You are uniting and unifying that locker room from people of all different backgrounds.
No doubt.
The leader of that cannot use that kind of language and can't be that kind of person behind closed doors.
No, you can't. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. All right. Here's what's coming up in the game, brought to you by Comcast West. Brian Baldinger at 7:30. Niner fans, where you at? How you feeling about the injuries here that the team has suffered over the past week against the Arizona Cardinals? Trey Lance sprained his knee. We'll get into that and where Shanahan and company are at as they head into the bye week at 2-3. We'll take some time out from the Giants, talk a little football here. Then we'll get back to the Giants with Dave Fleming at 8 o'clock here on the Morning Roast with Chazky and Bonte.
When you get Xfinity Internet, Flex is included free, and finding what to watch on TV is now.
stream.
Why are you whispering?
Because the alien will hear us.
Maybe let the alien know you can get DirecTV Stream with no annual contract.
He seems pretty excited by that, actually.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at directtv.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device. Content varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
It's October, and this is postseason baseball. The National League Division Series presented by Good Sam continues today. Brewers Braves at 5 Eastern and Giants Dodgers at 9 Eastern. Only on TBS. Go to MLB.com/postseason for the full schedule.
Now, back to the Morning Roast, presented by Timeless Coffee with Bonte and Shasky.
Bonte, Baldy in 10 minutes. I can't wait to talk to him. He put out some videos yesterday. Oh my God, they're unbelievable. And Roasters, I'm back with another episode of Elevate Your Tailgate. Check it out, 957thegame.com, 957thegame IG, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. We're also on Twitch. Elevate Your Tailgate is brought to you by Harris Ranch Beef. Legendary beef, legendary quality. Visit harrisranchbeef.com.
Harris Ranch Beef. Hey, we got the steaks, Shasky. You may have to throw some on tonight in celebration of the Giants beating the Dodgers at foe. Giants in foe. Stick it, man. If I could get a prediction right one of these days, man, that'd make me feel good. I'm not gonna lie. I want to be right about that one. I don't care about being right about anything else. I want to be right about the damn prediction, damn it. Giants in foe. Pop champagne tonight.
Maybe, what was it, May of this year, you and I were screaming and yelling at each other over me suggesting that one day Camilo Duvall might be one day the closer of the future. And I'm going to tell you right now, in no sport have I ever seen the development of a player accelerated the way Duvall has. I was one of the few that was early on, but no one could have predicted. No one could have said in 1 month, this kid's going to go from not in the bigs, not the top prospect in the farm, to, oh my God, he's the best young player on the team, and he's probably the future superstar closer that they've been looking for since Brian Wilson left.
You know, May 20th, Camilo Duvall had a 7.59 ERA after an appearance against Cincinnati, where the Giants won 19-4, and they swept that series in Cincinnati. We're like, damn, they just swept a 4-game series in Cincinnati? What? And, you know, I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. I'm like, we're talking closer of the future with this guy. Can he just get through an appearance without giving up a run? Think about this. He had the 2 games at Pittsburgh where he looked awful. Blew a save against Pittsburgh. I mean, it was rough. And this guy now has been dealing, absolutely dealing. So I'm really impressed with Camilo Duvall. By the way, download the Odyssey app. Go to the homepage and look for the exclusive stations tab. There's something for everyone. Alternative rock, classic hits, hip-hop. That last track you played there, Lakeford, was that Gwen Stefani and that crew?
No, it was NERD.
NERD.
NERD and
was that for real?
Yeah.
Oh, that was for real. Oh, what song was that? I know what song they're talking about. I know what song that was.
Hot and Fun.
Yeah.
With Nelly Furtado.
What group was Gwen Stefani in?
Are they No Doubt?
Ooh, look at you.
Is she No Doubt? She is? She had a little hair. Yeah, they had a couple cool videos.
Did you see the 3rd edition of Jerry Rice Unplugged? It's out right now on social media platforms. Jerry, like you've never seen him before. Jerry Rice Unplugged, brought to you by Golden State Lumber.
Thanks for interrupting my read for that read, but that's cool. I'm not really in.
There's so many reads. We're selling so many things right now. 95.7 The Game.
Yeah, and we're not seeing a dime. Hey, can we get paid around here? The new Odyssey exclusive station on the Odyssey app, brought to you in part by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar. I'm going to get Langford some food. I want to buy breakfast for Curly. We're reading all this stuff, not getting a penny. What's going on? Baldy coming on in 6 minutes, 559. Baldy, Brian Baldinger at Baldy NFL in 6 minutes to talk about the 49ers and what's going on. Let's go to Brendan in Newark real quick. Brendan in Newark, what's happening? You're on our morning roast here on 95.7 The Game.
What's going on, guys? Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to talk about John Gruden real quick. This guy's been in college and professional sports since 1986. That was the year I was born. You've had 35 years to know how to act right. You got to be able to judge a person and their character by the things that they do and not by the cover that they show everyone. He was the man in the broadcasting booth, he was given a second chance with the Raiders, but you can't change a person's character. And I think that really goes to show what is going on with John Gruden right now. This was a long time coming, and it's kind of interesting that it came out now, but the man made his bed, and he's going to have to sleep in it.
You know, it's whenever I hear, why did it come out now, and I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but to me that takes away from the stupid things that he said and the irredeemable qualities that he has as a human being and his thought processes on life. I struggle with cancel culture, Bonte. I admit this out loud. I do. I struggle with cancel culture. I did terrible things as a younger man that I regret deeply to this day. I struggle with it. Does that mean that I can't be redeemed as a human? No, I can be redeemed one-on-one, you and I. Right. I can repair our relationship over time because I've broken some trust for whatever reason. And trust is a hard thing. Once you break it, it's hard to earn it back from someone. But that doesn't mean that I should have my job and my employment. Those are two separate things, right? There's the individual redemption, and then there's the employment privilege, right? If he was working for Google, for Yahoo, for Apple, whatever, they all would have fired him. I mean, Bruce Allen, you know how dumb you have to be using a team or a company email? Well, the first thing I was taught when I was in corporate America, whatever you type on our computers, whatever you search on our computers, think about it.
Yeah.
And this guy taught me, Wilbert Tom, who's out there probably driving around to this day, one of the great salesmen that I've ever met in my life. He said to me, type out the email, read it once, read it twice. Now say to yourself, if this got forwarded to the wrong person, would you be ashamed?
Don't hit send.
I mean, just like, how dumb do you have to be?
Herm Edwards always says, don't hit send.
He's right.
Don't hit send. But here's the thing, like, I never got racist vibes from John Gruden, but you never know. You know, a lot of people will smile in your face. And in that moment, hey, man, yeah, we're great pals and yada, 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 tell you about everything. I remember a guy at UPS I used to work for. He's a white guy. And he was like comparing our backgrounds. Like, you know, I know where you're going through, buddy. I know where you're. And the guy was like from Millbrae with Fat House and everything. I'm just looking at him like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to try to force a relationship with me and just, oh man, I know about the grind, man. I know about this. But what these emails do and what these leaks do is like, it shows that it's not just John Gruden. It's running rampant everywhere in every freaking business. Hell, it could be here at 95.7 The Game. I don't know. But there's a little something, like when you see Gruden doing it, and that was the last thing on my mind when I thought John Gruden. I thought football coach. I thought, man, he wants to win. Mr. Raider, you know, Chucky. And you see these emails and you see some of the things, I'm like, man, who else thinks like that in this organization?
Are you really surprised though? Because I'm not. I'm not
surprised.
Gruden,
I'm surprised about.
The individual.
But I'm not surprised that coaches talk like this. I'm not surprised that things happen like this.
Exactly.
I've been on the other ends. I'm a black guy.
Yeah.
I'm a black guy in America.
Well, and it wasn't
I've seen a lot of things.
And Bonte, it wasn't just racism. I mean, it was misogynism.
Yeah.
It was ripping,
anti-gay slurs. I
mean, ripping certain parties in America. That's the other thing. The whole political thing is just everybody's mad at I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican. You know what, most people I meet are just normal people trying to just make it in this world and get their kids to school and to practice and get to work and keep making payments on their home or their rental or whatever it is that they're doing. That's what most normal people are. He ripped DeMaurice Smith. He ripped Roger Goodell.
The way he talked about DeMaurice.
Owners.
Well, here's the thing. This is the way he talked about DeMaurice Smith and his lips, saying, "Oh, they look like Michelin tires."
That's
big black. And look, if you look at cartoons in the 50s and the 40s and the 60s,
we've done Disney with Dad.
The way they depicted certain cartoons of black people with the big old lips, because black people apparently had big old lips and they loved their watermelon. And it was just, it's not cool. You got to know better, man. John Gruden, you got to know better.
It's just, I don't, Bonte, you know, these guys, I don't know what they're thinking.
It's actually, it's sad because it feels like it's 2021 And this whole, like, over what we've gone through the last year and a half with all the protests and George Floyd and cops killing innocent, not innocent black kids, but basically killing them for minor crimes or whatnot. And here we are in 2021, and it's not getting any better.
Well, I think the one thing, again, the white guy over here trying to tell you how you should feel. I'm not telling you how you should feel, but what I'm saying is the one good thing that can come of this, out everybody, man. Like, that's the way I view it. I'm like, hey, look, yes, it should not be going on, but if it is, let's out them and let's expose them.
And it also takes away from a great weekend of football. It takes away from the game that you're promoting. Lamar Jackson last night.
Oh, my God. I love Lamar. I love Lamar.
Lit it up. I mean, from the pocket.
Bonte, I love watching
come back against the Colts. They're down 22-3, 25-9.
What, he had 300 yards in the second half alone?
Alone. And the completion percentage. That was great football.
Yes.
What we saw on Sunday, Chiefs, Buffalo going to Kansas City and pucking the Chiefs. You're seeing great football. College football Saturday was amazing, starting with Texas and Oklahoma, ending with Texas A&M and Alabama, and the number one team going down. So let's go to Baldy here, man, because I want to talk some football. Enough of John Gruden. Let's talk some football here and look at the big picture of the 49ers here. Brian Baldinger, he joins us every single Tuesday at 7:30. Hit it, Langford.
He breaks down plays better than anyone.
I mean, this is like Shark Week now. And you know what Baker Mayfield is? He's chum. Look at these sharks. You think you're getting away from those 4 angry sharks? It's Shark Week. It's time to eat. Make the read. Urgency. That's the name of the game right here. Urgency. Now, on it. He's on it. Touchdown. Beautiful throw.
He's our 95.7 The Game NFL insider, Brian Baldinger.
Yes, Baldy, my favorite time of the week, 7:30 every single Tuesday here on the Morning Roast with Joe Shasky, the Butcher, and Bonte Hill. Brian Baldinger at Baldy NFL on Twitter. Baldy's breakdowns, and boy, did he have some breakdowns this week about this Niners-Cardinals game. And Baldy, good morning. I got to say this. Last week we came in talking about baby Ches, my 10-month-old daughter. Last night she wouldn't go to sleep again. You know why? Because Lamar Jackson was lighting it up, and she said, Papa, I got to watch the Ravens come back and do this thing against the Colts. I got to see him come back. Lamar is slinging it. And then finally at about 9 o'clock on the West Coast, she went down to bed. So baby Ches is filling the Monday Night Football games. Let's start there. Lamar, unbelievable last night.
Well, you know what's scary, I guess, for the other 31 teams in the league is, we haven't seen the best yet. We saw an incredible comeback last night, but to watch him stay in the pocket, to watch him go through progressions, go through reads, miss 6 passes and over 40 attempts the whole night and throw 4 touchdowns and bring him back like that. I mean, because they're not running the ball well. They're averaging less than 3 yards a carry from the running backs in the last 2 weeks. They're not running it well. It's up to him right now to kind of do it all, and he did. And all these people that just want to write, the final epitaph for what Lamar is are crazy, because this guy is improving. And sometimes you need games like that to show people how much you're improving. And it's not just about stats and numbers. Like we can get statted out in this whole world. Mm-hmm. Just watch him and watch his eyes as he knows what he's looking at and what the defense is doing. And the defense is directing him where to go with the ball. And he's fought all the urges to take off and run and scramble and all those things we know he could do. I mean, he's beating you from the pocket right now.
Baldy, I'm looking, as we transition to the 49ers, I'm looking at your timeline. I followed you on Twitter for at least 4 or 5 years now, and it feels like you put out the most incredible breakdown videos, and you celebrate the sport of football. And I was stunned to see some of the tweets that you put out regarding the 49ers. Let's start off here. Why were you so disappointed with the 49ers in general? Because that was the tone I got from looking at your videos and seeing your tweets.
I was disappointed. I was frustrated. I love quarterbacks. We all do. And I want to see all of them succeed. But you have to give your quarterback a chance to succeed. And put Trey Lance last week in empty sets, spread formations, asking him to throw it against a Cardinal defense that's lining up in a different defense than that's shown all year. First play, having Chandler Jones come free, unblocked, attacking your protections. I just thought you're asking him to do too much. You're asking him to be Cam Newton, which he's not and doesn't need to be. And what's wrong with handing the ball off? What's wrong with running a wide zone? What's wrong with play action? What's wrong with the screen? Like, we didn't see any of that stuff. We saw Trey running powers and quarterback sneaks, and the last thing I want to see, I saw him twice get hit on Sunday where his helmet is rolling on the ground. And I'm just cringing. I'm cringing because nobody can survive that type of assault. I don't care what you're made of. You can't. It's just going to take its toll. And I thought, and I'll just go backwards a second. Like, they did the same thing to Justin Fields against Cleveland 3 weeks ago. And then Matt Nagy got smart. In the last 2 weeks, Justin Fields has helped them win games. And they stopped all this stuff. All the stuff that we just – and that's what bothered me on Sunday was there's a better game plan for a kid making his first start to give him a chance to be successful in a game that was never out of reach. Never. And if you can make a play on a goal line, who knows what happens. So I just thought, considering how well the defense played after the first 2 series, man, just give this kid a chance to succeed.
Brian Baldinger here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game joins us every single Tuesday here at 7:30 in the morning with Joe Shasky, the Butcher, and Bonte Hill. Baldy, you were strong because we both follow you and we love your breakdowns here. What did Trey do well, despite some of the lack of things they did in the game plan? Like you said, the stretch, the outside zone, they're not really running without Raheem Mostert. The screen game, we didn't see it. We saw a lot of it in Philly. Didn't see it this week against Arizona. But what did he do well? What did you like from Trey Lance this past Sunday against the Cardinals?
Well, I mean, the offensive line was horrible, right? So we know that. So, behind a leaky offensive line that just got dominated most of the day, he didn't seem like he was flinching, that he was worried about it, the way that they hit him. The first play of the game, Chandler Jones is coming free. He improvised and took off. Second play, I don't know if the back is wrong or if Trey's wrong, but, the fake and the handoff and the read is all wrong. And he still finds juice for 16 yards. I thought he improvised about as well as you can. He's going to throw the ball. It'd be good if the guys could catch the ball. Sanu dropping a ball and Debo dropping a ball. Help him out. Catch everything. Make great catches. Give him a chance. I thought he competed as well as you could ask anybody to compete. And for as much as they asked him to do, which was, I think, way too much, I thought he competed as hard as you can. And I kind of knew he was going to do that. But, to see him against a really good defense that was dominating up front, compete like that, and have a chance to win, I thought was impressive.
Yeah, we both felt like the kid competed his heart out and made some throws. There's a couple that he wants back. There's no doubt about it, but thought he made some throws. This offensive line is just not playing well right now, and neither is the secondary. What's the more alarming unit for you?
Well, the secondary, they didn't have plans for Josh Norman to be the starting corner.
Right.
Josh Norman is what Josh Norman is right now in his 10th or 11th year. He's going to have a hard time against a fleet of receivers that the Cardinals could put out there. They probably have the best talent at that position of anybody in the league. So, to me, the most alarming part would be the offensive line because they've got their 5 starters up there that they thought was going to be the upgrade for the offensive line. So it's not like they're, at their third-team guard or, their third-team center in there right now like they have been in the past years. This is their starting group. I know Kittle's not in there. He's a very good blocker, and he makes a difference on the edge. But otherwise, that's their group. That's what would make me feel more alarmed. I didn't see them win the line of scrimmage on Sunday. I saw J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones and Lecky Fotu. I saw those guys dominate up front. And the only reason why you're guilty of holding is because you're out of position. And why are you out of position? They're all in this offense now. Every one of these guys has been in this offense for years.
Yep.
And I'm counting the center, but because he's been in the offense in Atlanta.
Right.
So it's not like this is new and we're learning something new. They've known these plays for years. And I think they got whipped pretty good up front.
Yeah, they did get beat up, Baldy. There's no doubt. They got beat up bad by Arizona, and this offensive line has been a major, major disappointment here. Let me ask you about the wide receivers here, because you decided to drop passes. Sanu, a big third down drop to extend the drive. Yep. Deebo Samuel on the goal line when Trey got stuffed there. On first down, he drops a wide receiver screen, dropped another slant later in the game. And then Brandon Ayuk, who had a very solid rookie season. He only has 8 catches this year, Baldy, for 90 yards on only 15 targets. What have you seen from Brandon Ayuk on film? Is he gaining separation? Is he running the wrong routes? What's going on with Brandon Ayuk, and why can't the 49ers get him the ball?
Well, a couple things. One, he's a very good route runner, but route runners need time. Like, you got to allow guys to win the route, And so there was a point when I was watching this game the other day where I was wondering if Ayuk was even active because he wasn't on the field. You know what I mean? Like, I know he started, but I honestly, you didn't notice him. He had a catch for 6 yards in the first half, and I was like, oh, he's active. Like, he had a look. Like, that's not what you want from your first round pick. But like, route runners need time to go beat corners, and I don't feel like he's getting time to do that. They're already off him. Now you're starting a quarterback making his first game. He's not going to see everything. You don't expect him to. So I think that's part of it. But the offense is just completely out of sync right now. It doesn't look anything like a Kyle Shanahan's offense that I've seen, whether he was in Cleveland or Atlanta or the first 3 or 4 years in San Francisco. It doesn't look anything like it. And so it's just confusing to me that the way that their pass game, whether it was Kittle or Ayuk, like, there's nothing really called for them. They do call things for Deebo, which you would expect because he's just so talented after the catch. But really, even that, like, they don't spend a lot of time like dialing up plays against anticipated coverages for him.
Yeah, we're going to talk Giants in a second. Big win over the Dodgers last night. But we're talking to Brian Baldinger, our NFL insider here on 95.7 The Game with Bonte and Butcher. Baldy, I thought the defense after the first drive, they got sliced up first drive, but they adjusted. They've played really well. D'Amico Ryans seems to really know how to adjust mid-game. What did you think of the defense overall?
I thought after the first 2 drives, I thought they were awesome. I mean, the one thing, like, that offense that the Cardinals put out there, they were number 1 in yards and points. Nobody stopped them. All right, the Rams were helpless to stop them. All right, so that's a talented group that does everything well, and they take care of the football. What I saw from the 49ers is what I saw the Super Bowl year. I saw a relentless, fast group that flew to the football. And you limit any yards after the catch, after contact. I could put together 10 plays where it was just rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Like 6 guys just belting the ball carrier. Like, that was beautiful to see. If you had to take anything good out of a division loss like this, it's like, if the defense plays like that, they're going to win games.
I agree. Wow. I agree. Niners on the bye week here before they take on the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday Night Football. And we'll see who plays quarterback, whether it's Jimmy Garoppolo or Trey Lance, but they're both dealing with injuries. Trey Lance, I guess, suffered a sprained left knee. He may be out 1 to 2 weeks, which sucks because he's not going to get the reps in practice. And then Jimmy Garoppolo. What can Jimmy Garoppolo do to right the ship and help this offense start to score some points? Because Baldy, in the last 4 first halves for the 49ers, they scored 21 points. 7 against the Eagles, which came late in the first half. 7 against the Packers, which came on the last play of the first half. And 7 against Seattle, where they dominated and moved the football, but yet they only had 7 points after holding Seattle to 5 straight 3-and-outs to start the game. And, of course, last week, no points. How can they ignite this offense early? Big plays? What do they have to do here?
Well, you have to. The short answer, Bonte, is you have to sustain offense, and the way that you sustain offense is by converting your third downs. And so, because when you get to third down, when you get there, you got to be able to convert them. Either that or you have to be aggressive. Man, I saw the Chargers on Sunday go for 4th and 2 from their 23-yard line. Or you just have to say, okay, we're in 4-down territory, and we're just going to keep, taking shots, and keep the ball and possess the ball. It's the only thing. Like, the big plays are just so few and far between right now. It's great when you can get them. You can't, but those things come from basic execution where the defense, breaks down because they're just on the field so often and so many times. And then they just break down the way, say, the Browns did last week. So they got to sustain offense is the short term, is the short answer. And that means just execution, basic execution up front.
Baldy, it's so tough. I mean, I'm not asking you to be Kyle Shanahan, but if it was up to you, would you go with Trey Lance the rest of the year to give him these live bullet reps, or would you go back to Jimmy Garoppolo and try to work with Trey Lance on the side?
I think they're just going to need both of them. I mean, I'm not ready to turn it over to Trey just yet. Although I think he can eventually handle it. I just think he could still learn more. I think they could still win games with Jimmy right here. They've got to get better around him. Mm-hmm. Neither one of these guys are capable of doing what we saw Lamar do last night.
Right.
Like just elevate the whole team. I mean, they can't do that. They need a really good group around them. That's what disappointed me most about Sunday was not just the game plan, but the players around Trey weren't good.
Yeah.
Like. That's your future right there. Like he's going to be your quarterback the way Lamar is their quarterback. Like elevate your game. Like there's so much to like about him. Like they got to play better, they got to play harder, and they got to execute better around him right now. And if I knew they were going to do that, then I wouldn't have any problem turning it. But right now Jimmy still gives you a chance to win games, and this thing is a long, long ways from being over. It's just getting started.
No doubt. You play the Colts on a Sunday night football game coming off a bye week. We saw the Colts last night blow a lead. They're vulnerable, but they got weapons here, so the Niners will have to come to play, whether it's Jimmy or Trey Lance. Line has to block better. Baldy, you're the best, man. You're breaking it down here, and we agree with everything you just said here on the Morning Roast, man. Have a good week. We'll look for your breakdowns later in the week, of course, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Go Giants. You got it, Bonte.
Let's go, baby.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Brian Baldinger at Baldy NFL, our 95.7 A Game insider. He is the best, man. He holds no punches. We're going to get back to the Giants in just a second here. Dave Fleming will join us at the top of the hour at 8 o'clock. But the offensive line, nobody likes to talk about offensive lines on sports radio, the trenches, as they say, but when you can't block, like you look at the breakdowns, the first play of the game, I was like, geez, Chandler Jones is ready to rip Trey Lance's head off. Guy's not getting open. Brandon Ayuk disappearing. It's a lot on Shanahan, man. It's a lot on Kyle Shanahan. And I've been crushing Shanahan. I have been. I've been crushing Shanahan. But at some point, players play. Players play. And when you get a right tackle like Mike McGlinchey not blocking, when you get Daniel Brunskill just getting bullied up front, when Alex Mack is not holding his weight, when guys are dropping passes, coach can't go catch the football for you. Coach can't throw the football for you. Coach can't block for you. It's bad all around right now. Offensively. Defensively, I thought defensively it had been good the last 3 weeks. I really have.
There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. And B, the Brunskill thing is, man, we never talk guards until they start to really falter. They need Banks to develop this year because that has been a glaring hole for them for what feels like ever. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It really does. And Mike McGlinchey, that was the poorest game that he's had ranked by PFF. And people roll their eyes at PFF, but they do the grading, and it was pretty bad for Mike McGlinchey. Now, I don't think he's as bad as what we saw, but he's not a great player. I think he's up and down, but for the 10th overall pick, you need more from him.
Yeah.
You thought when you drafted him, I'm getting a 10-year guy at right tackle, and it's just, he's underwhelming right now, and they gave him no opportunities to succeed yesterday.
Young man in his first game, 16 carries, 89 yards, 15 to 29, throws for $192, the one interception. And Baldy, when you looked at the tweet and you just hear him here, you just hear him on the airwaves. Like, he just couldn't believe. He was distraught at the game plan. Distraught at the way they helped Trey Lance, or the lack of help for Trey Lance.
And when the report came out that Trey hurt his knee, that felt like a gut punch.
It did. Because I want to see Trey play.
I mean, we all do.
I want to see Trey play. And
like,
you know what? I think Kyle, too. I think Kyle was ready to go to Trey. I do think he was ready to go to Trey because if you're a head coach and you see Trey doing all that without any help from your offensive peers, without any help from your offensive line, without any help in the running game, without any help from your wide receivers, I think I was like, all right, I could do something here. We got the ability to make big plays. We got the ability to extend plays, like Lamar Jackson. We got the ability to, hey, my quarterback, if the line comes, like, imagine that first play of the game and Jimmy's an empty, and Chandler Jones comes scot-free. Jimmy's getting crushed. All right? Jimmy's getting crushed. Trey can scramble out and make some things happen. Now, I get it. He's very, very raw. You don't want to throw him to the wolves here. But I do think Shanahan was ready to go with Trey. And then this injury comes out, and you're like, all right, what do we do offensively? One, they got to find a running back that they trust. More carries for Elijah Mitchell, run that stretch zone, more creativity out fourth down. But also, guys got to make plays, man, at critical times. And the Niners haven't done that offensively so far this season.
No, they haven't. I mean, I thought the offensive line was going to be greatly improved. It looked great in game one. I thought it was okay against Philadelphia. It's taken a step back the last couple of weeks, and it just stinks. I mean,
it does stink.
We got to sit there and hold that L for a long time, and they just got to hope also that Trey Lance isn't, the knee isn't a problem that's going to linger throughout the year. I mean, that would be the most devastating, is another injury into your prized quarterback.
Yeah, let's focus on some positives here. Niners are going to be on a bye week. They'll get some rest. They'll get some guys back from injuries. We'll see what happens against the Colts a couple Sundays from now. But we got to get back to the Giants. They're up 2-1 on the Dodgers. 2-1 on the Dodgers. Game 4 tonight. Dodgers have a chance to eliminate.
The original plan was to play Jimmy.
My bad. Trigger finger is clicking. Wrong mouse. Today, Giants, 6:37 p.m. or 6:07 first pitch against the Dodgers. Game number 4 down at Dodger Stadium.
Love the 6:07 start.
Morning show's best friend, baby. Morning show's best friend. We may get to sleep at 9:30 tonight. We may. But if they pop champagne, we probably won't go to bed till 10 because we want to watch the celebration. I'm putting it out there in existence. I'm putting it out there in stratosphere. Giants and foe, Shasky, like I told you on Friday. Giants and foe. Let's go to A-Trade in San Jose. Giants and foe, A-Trade. Giants and foe.
Hey, Giants are ready to go, man. This brings me back to torture baseball, and I love it because that's what we're good at. That's what Crawford, Posey, and Belt know a lot about. So I love seeing Crawford snag that ball out of the air, too. Oh, man, saved us. Alex Wood was on fire for 4 2/3. I would almost even give him 5 innings on that one. But in the bullpen, I mean, the whole team looked great. It was definitely stressful and torture, but loved it. I can't wait to close these guys out tonight. It's going to be awesome.
That play by Crawford is going to be immortalized if they can take out the Dodgers.
It's going to be on so many T-shirts.
I mean, the way we look at that Dave Roberts stolen base against the Yankees.
Yeah. This play was bigger, in my opinion. I mean,
Ponte.
Look, that was ALCS stolen base. Yeah, you're down 3-0. When they down 3-0?
They might have been. I thought the stolen base was down 3-1. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they were down 3-0. Whatever. Regardless,
Yeah.
I mean, that play is going to live in infamy for him forever. The double play that he made with LaStella on Friday night was incredible. This one was spectacular.
No, it was great.
I mean, and Betts, multiple opportunities to deliver. You stuff him on multiple chances, and he's a superstar. This is the thing that I'm asking out loud. If I'm a Dodger fan, we rode with Bellinger through all the bad this year. Now, he was hurt a lot, and they threw him on the IL a lot. And in the biggest game of the year, and Pujols delivered, but you can't find some at-bats for Bellinger, and you go for the double switch, and Bellinger doesn't even get an at-bat in basically a swing game, where we know 72% of teams that win Game 3 when it's tied 1-1, they go on to win the series. And Bellinger, a guy that you would have freaking given $300 million to just a year ago, you don't even give him at bat after what he did the other night? I did find that, like, wow, Giants dodged a bullet there.
Dude, big bullet.
Right?
Austin Burns and Lux. Like, look, Bellinger, say what you want, man. He has some quality at-bats in Game 1 and 2. Call it the big hit in Game number 2, right? To get the Dodgers a big-time lead there.
I thought that was 5-1 lead, too, by the way.
I mean, he had a good hit. Good hit there, all right? I just, Austin Barnes, backup catcher, Gavin Lux, really? I don't know. That's the Dodgers' problem, though. And they got to figure out who's going to be on the bump tonight. Is it Walker Buehler to save their season? I wish it was Kershaw. I'm not going to lie to you. Part of me wishes it was Kershaw. I want to see Kershaw.
You did, huh?
I want to see Kershaw.
It's probably going to be the same thing as what the Rays did last night against the Red Sox. I think they threw out Colin McHugh to start that game.
And it did not work out.
And then 2 innings in, then after that, they put in
5-0.
Their number one guy, Shane McClanahan.
Yeah, the prospect.
Who didn't help anything.
He got rocked. Dude, they were throwing BP in that inning. Boston was just hitting laser after laser after laser. And then that guy, Franco, the 20-year-old. Wander Franco.
This is ridiculous.
It's going to be a household name by next July.
Yeah, I always pronounce it.
Rosarena?
Yeah, Rosarena. I always pronounce it wrong. He's a stud, too.
Oh, yeah, he's a stud. Franco is the real deal.
But I speak for America when I say this. Nobody wants to see the Rays advance.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They're a good baseball team.
Yeah, but you're an insider.
Yeah,
you know
I know.
What I mean?
I like it.
You think my mom's sitting there like, yep, bring on Tampa Bay.
Giants to Red Sox would be fun. Fenway Park. I may have to fly out to Boston.
I would go.
I would fly out to Boston. I got some Delta Airline points.
Hey, not a lot of Giants fans in the stands last night. I got to give Dodger fans credit.
No doubt. Real quick, let's go to Will and Marin. We got 30 seconds before we get to Flim. Will, what's going on, man? You're on the roast.
Yo, what up, boys? Thanks for taking my call and giving me the 30 seconds. Man, Camilo Doval was born with ice water in his veins. Mm-hmm. Sending him down was the best thing. I was nervous when Rogers was in there. I was nervous when McGee came in. But when Camilo Doval was in there, it didn't feel like torture. It just looked like a young man on a mission. He looked like a lion prowling through the high grass about to get his elk, and he did it. Like, it was amazing. Shasky, you couldn't be more correct. This guy is that all-star pitcher that we've been looking for. He is a beast. Love him. Thanks, guys.
He's an absolute superstar, and it's the legs down. And the dude is built like a tank, and he's so calm. Dude, he's everything I want in a closer.
Well, Fleming was down in Dodger Stadium.
101?
Dave Fleming was at Dodger Stadium, bracing with the win. He got to see that win up close and personal. Can't wait to talk to the great voice of the San Francisco Giants, Dave Fleming, right here on The Roast. That's coming up here.
It's time for Jerry Rice Unplugged.
800-279-2827 and never pay for car repairs again. Dial 800-279-2827.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1, San Francisco. On Odyssey Station. Now, back to the Morning Roast, presented by Timeless Coffee with Bonte and Shasky. You've heard him call college football.
4th and goal. Nolan will try to sneak it, and he pushes in.
You've heard him call San Francisco Giants baseball.
So now Posey ranges away, and Bellinger throws it so high. Posey will come in to score.
But we all know the crowning achievement in his career. He's our 95.7 The Game Giants insider.
To me, Buster is one of the top 10 catchers in the history of the game right now as of today, and that should be easily good enough to put him in the Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Fleming.
And Dave Fleming is brought to you by the County of Santa Clara and Gordon Plastering. Giants win 1-0 last night. Game 4 tonight, 6:07. First pitch, Anthony DeSclafani on a mound for the Giants. And in that clip, that intro, you hear Dave Fleming say, Buster Posey's definitely a top 10 catcher of all time. Well, he may be top 5 now after catching his 14th shutout in 56 postseason games. And yesterday was a masterpiece. Alex Wood, Tyler Rogers, Jake McGee, and Camilo Duvall for a 6-out save. We can't get enough, Flip. Good morning, and how about those Giants?
I think I was right on that one.
Score that one for Flib right there. Buster Posey, unbelievable. The shutout Friday night for Logan Webb, which was great. And then, of course, last night, in just one of the most classic Giant Dodger games of all time, we had to catch with Crawford, but just the pitching. Let's start there, Flim. The pitching set up by Alex Wood going 4 2/3 innings and shutting out the Dodgers there.
25% of Buster's career playoff starts have been shutouts.
It's nuts.
25% of them.
That's insane.
And I just don't think that's a total coincidence. Now, you know, it always is a team effort in this sport. So obviously the pitchers are the number one thing. Last night, the defense was the number one thing. And so Wood and Rogers and all of them get great credit, but the Giants don't win that game without an incredible defensive effort. And it's what this team's been doing. I mean, you look across the diamond and you don't see other than, you know, Crawford and Posey, and last night they had Duggar in there, which helps, and Evan Longoria is still a very good defensive player. But it's not like you look out there and see a bunch of guys who've just racked up Gold Glove awards or who are the fastest players in the league and you figure are just going to be defensive stars. But the team effort between the game planning, the positioning, all the stuff that goes in, the preparation ahead of time, and then the ability to execute on an incredibly big stage with a hostile crowd, huge pressure game. It's just a grown man win. You know, it's a win where most teams, even most really good teams, lose to the Dodgers last night. The Dodgers played a beautiful game, and it took every bit of experience and toughness that the Giants had to come away with a win.
I mean, the poetry was unbelievable last night. Obviously, Duvall, but the 5 straight sliders from the kid to trust the catcher, for the catcher to trust the kid to throw those when it's not his primary pitch, and that's the one he couldn't command. I mean, it was just, they were painting a portrait yesterday. It was gorgeous. But I want to set the scene here because
let me just stop you there because just one quick point before you go on.
Yeah.
Because if you remember when Duvall first came up, it was kind of the opposite. Buster was trying to get him to throw his fastball, and he just wouldn't do it. He kept shaking Buster off and going back to that slider, and he missed with it, and then he'd get himself in a bad count. And it's amazing how it's flipped around and it's a lesson for all young players.
Yes.
Like, trust this guy. This guy does know what he's doing. And there was a reason why early he wanted to throw the fastball more, and there was a reason why last night he wanted to do what he did, and it's a good observation by you, and it's a sign of how that kid has grown up in front of our eyes.
I mean, yeah, it was just incredible. The whole sequencing and him not even celebrating after going 2-3-4 in the 8th inning. It was just it was spectacular. I was streaming you guys at volleyball practice for the first couple innings, and you were talking about the wind. Now, Dave, we've embraced you. You're a native. You're a local here. I was talking about Crocker Park. Bonte was talking about the parks he grew up in.
Rossi.
And the wind is howling. I grew up near Candlestick. The wind used to howl. Take me back to yesterday at that stadium with the wind. Explain to the audience what really was going on, because it felt like it was affecting every single thing that was going down yesterday.
Rossi Park, Bonte, huh?
Yeah, a little Rossi in the swimming pool. That's where I got my passed my swimming test there at Rossi Park for high school.
We call him Floaty Hill.
The swimming pool is beautifully renovated.
Yes.
As of this week, it's almost finished.
Yep, I missed that neighborhood, Flem. I don't live any there, but I drove by there last weekend. I go, man, look at Rossi. I'm gonna have to check this out, man. I played a lot of baseball games on that field, dirt infield, of course, in the grass, which really wasn't grass.
Well, you know how it is. Fly ball goes from center field all the way to the first base foul pole.
Yes.
It does. During the pandemic, I got near arrested at Rossi Park because I had the gall to put up a volleyball net to try to do some practice with my daughters. You can't put a stake in the grass in a San Francisco park. I almost got locked up. Anyway, we're diving a little deep.
No, I love it.
It's all good. It's all good.
This is why we love you, Flem.
I mean, the wind. The National Weather Service issued a red flag warning, and there were airport delays. The wind was so significant. They had a flyover, and I was concerned for those guys during the national anthem. We were down on the field before the game for a long time. I mean, this is our first road broadcast in a while, so we hung out down there and talked to everybody. We were going up to people we didn't even know. Hey, you want to talk?
Yeah, I saw John Miller talking to Albert Pujols yesterday. Oh, man, Pujols, I saw him hugging there down at Dodger Stadium, man. I know John was living his best life because it was his birthday.
It was his birthday yesterday. So we were down there and saying hi to everybody, and it was not windy at all. And we got back up to the booth, and we started the real pregame show. And about 45 minutes before first pitch, all of a sudden I'm looking out at those palm trees, and they're starting to sway a little bit. And then the flag, you hear that sound of the flag sort of snapping. And I look up and man, what is going on? And it would almost look like a storm was coming. And I really think it was just there was so much dust and stuff being kicked up that it looked like a cloud, even though there were no clouds up above. It was insane. I mean, it was and I really, in the early parts of the game, we kept talking about the wind because it was so fierce. But it didn't impact, the funny thing about it was you didn't see at home and at Candlestick, for all those years, Kuiper likes to call it the pop-up dance. We did not see that last night. The players did not have a real hard time with balls hit in the air. They were calm. They read them. It was just that they were getting knocked down.
Yes.
It's hard to hit one out. But it wasn't like a swirling Candlestick or even Oracle Park wind where it just plays havoc with the defense. It was more just a gale force blowing across that was going to knock down a ball hit in the air. And so it was just I can't ever remember a night like that at Dodger Stadium, ever, anything even close to that. And people who've been around here for a long time said the same thing. It was just a night. And now this morning, there's like a gentle little breeze, but mostly it's just a calm morning outside. So it really was like Candlestick Park wanted to be a part of Giants-Dodgers one last time, and it just popped up last night a half hour before first pitch.
And I'm sure you talked to the family back up here in San Francisco. It was a very windy day here in the city, so I'm thinking, man, are they really playing at Dodger Stadium or is it Oracle Park? We're talking to Dave Fleming, the great voice of the San Francisco Giants, here on 95.7 The Game, as he does every single Tuesday here on the Morning Roast with Joe Shasky, the Butcher, and Bonte Hill. Look, we'll get to Kapler in just a second. But how about Evan Longoria? Guy was in a 1 for 35 slump, and Kapler goes to him despite the numbers against Max Scherzer, and he does help the Giants score the one single run that they needed last night against Max Scherzer, who settled down after the first inning. Longoria needed that in a big way, and good for him because he's been pressing. He's been fighting it. Who knows what he's dealing with when it comes to injuries, but, man, to see him pop that out in the top of the fifth inning and play solid defense, good for Evan Longoria.
Hitless in the series, 3 for his last 44, I think, and hadn't hit a home run in almost a month. And, why not put Gabe Kapler in there with Evan Longoria? Those two were teammates. Mm-hmm. So it's not just player-manager. They were teammates. And the three of us have talked a lot this year about how Gabe has been willing to learn and change as a manager, evolve as a manager, and it's made him a better manager. And, I think he got stereotyped as a manager who early in his career liked to pre-plan everything and sort of had a plan and wasn't going to deviate from it, and the numbers were going to dictate that plan. Last night we were sitting with Gabe down in the dugout before the game. John and I were. So it was the three of us there. And Gabe gave us a passionate defense of Evan Longoria. Just asking about, Longoria's in there. He's struggling a little bit. What do you think? And Gabe basically his message was, when you are a player who's done it on the big stage so many times, like Evan Longoria has, where he, had some incredible postseasons with the Rays as a young player. Gabe said, that never leaves you. That knowledge that I can do this never leaves you. And, it was an old school sentiment from a new school manager. It was a sentiment of, I trust this guy. He's done it before. I know he can do it again. And we want him in our lineup, and it was almost like playing his gut last night because he easily could have worked it to where, Wilmer Flores could have been out there, Bryant could have been over there, he played somebody else at first base. There were other choices. He had not had success against Max Scherzer, and it really was like a Bruce Bochy, go with your gut, I trust this guy move. And it won the Giants the game.
There's no doubt about it. We got Dave Fleming, 95.7 The Game Giants insider with us right now. To further echo that sentiment, you referenced Chris Bryant playing first base, which that's not on the data. That's not on the spreadsheet. That's not in the Excel file. And then he goes with Tyler Rogers in parts of 3 different innings, essentially. He gets an out in multiple innings. And then he goes to Jake McGee. I didn't see a 7th inning Jake McGee appearance this year. Now, maybe I omitted one, but I don't remember him ever coming in the 7th inning. And then he gives the guts to go to Camilo Doval to get the 6-out save. His game yesterday, Gabe Kapler overall, was the most instinctual, gots to have it, old school, gut intuition kind of Bruce Bochy managerial job he's ever had. And I'm all here for it. And he deserves all the credit in the world because he rode his horses yesterday and they got the pivotal Game 3 win.
Yeah, he deserves a lot of credit for it. And it gives you a look. It's not to say that it can't get turned around, but it gives you a little insight that the trust factor shrinks just a little bit in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You see a couple of those guys who have been so good for the Giants this year. They've had a few shaky moments down the stretch, and so as a manager, you start to think, who am I really going to lean on in a one-run game in this environment, in a game that feels like a must-win, even though technically it wasn't a must-win.
Right.
It was a beautifully managed game, and I talked to Tyler after the game, and Tyler said, well, the coaches all came up to us and me specifically hours before the game and said, the blueprint is out the door today. You got to be ready to come in this game early. And so I do love that part of it too, where Gabe, it was a gut kind of game, but he also was smart enough to let the players know that, with Alex Wood out there, very likely not to go super deep in the game, that if the Giants had a lead and it was close when Alex came out, no matter where that was, that Tyler Rogers was going to be one of those guys. And so Tyler said, I had a total heads up. I knew it could be coming, so I was into the game from the first pitch. And I think that was a big part of it, too. It kind of reminds me of Game 7 of 2014, where Bochy had gone to Jeremy Affeldt beforehand and said, look, Bumgarner we're going to use, but you're our bridge. You're the guy early in the game. And what was it, the second inning of Game 7 of the World Series? Jeremy Affeldt has been a seventh and eighth inning pitcher. He was in the second that night. And last night kind of reminded me of that one.
Yeah, Dave, you have an affinity for history. So do me and Bonte. You hear about like the Warren Spahn, Juan Marichal game. We still hear about this. And you have these iconic players, and there's a singular moment that sticks out. And obviously, it's Giants-Dodgers. It's the playoffs. You got Alex Wood going up against the team he helped win a championship for last year. You got all the bullpen guys that have, scuffled at times, but, Kapler's going to them in spots they've never been used. Longoria, the guy they trade for to get them over the hump. They go through some rough patches. He's in a big slump. He hits the big jack. And then you have the singular defensive play of the game. The Crawford jumping up in the air and stopping Mookie Betts from knocking in the tying run. I mean, this was Picasso. This was Michelangelo. This was one of the great moments in Giants history. Now, they got to pull it off, I know. But my God, to have that play in that game at that time, it's just an all-time moment for the guy.
I think I do. And look, you're right. You got to finish it off by winning this series, and then maybe, to really make it truly iconic, although it's going to stand the test of time no matter what happens. But, if you go on to win the whole thing, there's a chance that's the signature play of the whole deal. And it was an incredible moment, and it's a testament to not just athleticism, because, we know Brandon's a tremendous athlete, but the instinct, the timing, the anticipation, the ability to rise to the moment in the biggest moments, which he has always done from the time he showed up in a Giants uniform as a baby. But from A-ball, Giants all those years ago totally rushed him. They were decimated at shortstop. They had no plan B. They had no plan C. They had no plan D. The Giants were caught with their pants down. They had nothing at shortstop. And so, okay, we got a kid in San Jose, or maybe he'd just gotten bumped up to Richmond. Let's bring Brandon Crawford up. And from that moment, he was ready to go in the big moments. And, look, there's been this whole debate this year about, is Brandon really a viable MVP candidate? And he's not going to win the award. I hate to say that, but he's not. But last night and that play is a reason why he should be strongly considered. The playoffs don't get factored in, but I just never seen a defensive player. Look, you can roll out. Mookie Betts has been a great defensive player. Andrelton Simmons, Yadier Molina, Buster Posey, the great defensive players of this generation. But one who just makes those big plays in the big moments, I have never seen anybody like Brandon Crawford, who can come up with the toughest plays in the toughest spots over and over again.
Truly remarkable. Truly big-time play there in the bottom of the seventh inning. Mookie Betts scalded that baseball. 100 miles per hour off the bat from a 94-mile-per-hour Jake McGee fastball, and saved the game there. Because as soon as it came off the bat flip, I said, oh, boy, tie game. Here we go. And Brandon Crawford does what he does. Fast forwarding to today, game number 4, where the Giants can possibly pop some champagne down at Dodger Stadium, and you got the experience of having goggles on. But before they do that, they need a great start from Anthony DeSclafani tonight. And last time out against the Dodgers, back on September the 3rd, I thought it was very important on that Friday night at Oracle to get a win, or at least just pitch well against the Dodgers. And he did that. 6 shutout innings, although he walked 3, but only gave up 2 hits in that start. How does he right the ship down at Dodger Stadium? Because it's been a rough patch for DeSclafani this year.
Yeah, it has been. They've had his number for sure. And they've had Kevin Gausman's a little bit, and that held up. Although Kevin pitched well in Game 2. Not great, but well. So, here's the thing. I think, number one, DeSclafani, that last start probably does give him a little extra confidence to know he can do it. Buster said that to us last night after the game. That was big for him. He pitched well against them. That should make him feel more confident coming into tonight's game. Number 2, you're not asking. It's the same as Alex Wood. You're not asking this guy to be Logan Webb. You're not asking this guy to be, Tim Lincecum. Like, he doesn't need to take you to the finish line. He just needs to get through the lineup once, maybe twice. You know, if you got through the lineup twice with DeSclafani, I think you'd feel great about how it went. And then it's going to be up to Gabe Kapler to mix and match from there, and it will be more of a challenge. You probably can't do exactly what you did last night for a second night in a row. Even with the off day, even though the plan changes in the playoffs, you're probably thinking we can't use Tyler for 2, Doval for 2 for a second straight game, just asking a lot. So what does that mean? With a right-hander on the mound, you know, those lefties, not that the Dodgers have a ton of them with no Max Muncy, but they have a few more. Those players probably will be in there, and that means, you know, maybe you target Jose Alvarez early in the game. Harleen Garcia is a guy who could come in and get 3 outs or something like that, and try to get to the late innings where then you play it the way that you have. And Dominic Leone didn't pitch well on Saturday. He's going to have to pitch well tonight. He's probably going to be in this game. So that's the way the Giants have done it all year. It's been a total team effort. DeSclafani doesn't have to be the hero. Just get off to a good start. When he's struggled, the first inning has often been a big part of it. And that's why I love Alex Wood in the playoffs, because Alex is the opposite.
Right.
Alex is right from the get-go ready to pitch and ready to pitch effectively. In some ways, out of the gate better than any other Giants pitcher. And that's such a valuable playoff quality. And DeSclafani's got to channel a little bit of that tonight. That first inning, because we know who it's going to be, no matter who's on the mound. It's going to be Mookie, it's going to be Trey Turner, it's going to be Corey Seager, some of the best hitters in the sport. Get off to a good start, and the Giants, I think, are going to be in good shape.
No doubt about it. Macy Walker Buehler, right? That's the word down there in L.A., Flem?
I think there's an 80% chance it'll be Walker Buehler. And, I don't blame him. I mean, Dave Roberts can do a bullpen game. The Dodgers did it extremely effectively this year many, many times. I mean, they had chunks of their season where 2 out of every 5 starts were bullpen games.
Right.
Tony Gonsolin is capable, a kid who grew up as a Giants fan in Northern California, good pitcher, playoff experience. But when you're facing elimination, our season's over if we lose tonight, it's hard not to push your stud that you really, really trust, and that's Walker Buehler. So that's my guess, is that's who we'll see out there.
All right, Flem, have fun down there at Dodger Stadium. Giants, Dodgers, 6:07 first pitch. Anthony DeSclafani on the mound. Let's see if the Giants bats can get going early in this game tonight to help out Anthony DeSclafani. Should be a lot of fun. Have fun down there at Dodger Stadium. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
I wish you guys were. I give Dodgers fans credit too, because it was incredible last night, and there were a lot of Giants fans there. And what I noticed after the game was over, everybody was treating each other well. So even in the intensity of this rivalry, give them credit for an incredible atmosphere.
But did they have a fan walking down Skid Row with a Dodger flag the way I was walking down Embarcadero with a Giants flag?
Did you see that, Flem? Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, boy, we got to send you the video. It was last Friday. Shasky basically left me on an island here for the last 45 minutes of the show and basically walked down Embarcadero with a flag and just yelled, "Let's go Giants and beat L.A."
And got paid for it.
Yeah, how about that? America, Flem.
Smart
America.
minds, Dave. 2 Menches cutting it up.
What a country.
We'll talk to you next Tuesday, and hopefully we're talking about games 1 and 2 of the NLCS.
Bring home a winner, baby.
I sure hope so. As much as Game 5 would be fun at home, we'll see.
Yeah, Pepto-Bismol will love a Game 5, that's for sure. Flem, have a good one.
All right, thanks, guys.
Oh, Dave Fleming was presented by the County of Santa Clara. You can get vaccinated right now for free at any of the drop-in locations, including Eastside San Jose, Downtown San Jose, Gilroy, Mountain View, Sunnyvale, and more. Call 211 or visit sccfreevax.org to find a drop-in closest to you. And presented by Gordon Plastering, the Bay Area's best for plastering, drywall, and fireproofing. GordonPlastering.com. Speaking of vaccinations, got some news on Kyrie Irving. You hear about this news about Kyrie Irving?
No.
Oh, we'll get to that, plus more Giants talk here and a showdown with Mark Willard. Yesterday got a little heated here on the crosstalk with Mark Willard on his first day.
I wasn't heated. I was like Trey Lance. I was composed. My teammates let me down.
That'll be sponsored by the Golden State Warriors. We're giving 5 lucky fans 2 pair of tickets to the Dubs home opener presented by Chase on Thursday, October 21st at 7 p.m. versus the LA Clippers. Tune in to 95.7 The Game for your chance to win.
Have you seen the gas prices lately? You need the free Get Upside app that gets you cash back on every gallon of gas you buy. Earn up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time you fill up, plus even more when you download today and use promo code THEGAME. That's promo code THEGAME.
What's up, sports fans? Kate Scott here for Xfinity, who, if I'm being honest, well, kind of my best friend right now.
Today
Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
Okay, my shipments have to get to customers on time and looking good.
It's possible with Staples Connect. Staples Connect has small business shipping covered with premium shipping supplies and UPS shipping services. And now, buy 2 get 1 free on select shipping supplies like bubble roll and premium shipping boxes. Plus, get 20% off UPS Express shipping services. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 10/30. Visit staplesconnect.com/shipping for details.
Maureen saved big shopping epic daily deals at Amazon. So now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. And with her brand new tableware, everyone's welcome at Maureen's table. All of her family, friends, even her neighbor with the pet. Hey, has anyone seen a ferret around here? Found it. Dig into Amazon's epic daily deals. Spend less, smile more.
It takes 2 vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
It's October, and this is postseason baseball. The National League Division Series presented by Good Sam continues today. Brewers Braves at 5 Eastern and Giants Dodgers at 9 Eastern. Only on TBS. Go to MLB.com/postseason for the full schedule.
So, Bonte, this is from my dad, who's entered the chat on YouTube TV. Gavin Lux putting his arm up like he hit a jack. GTFOH. Wow. It's from Joe Shasky Jr.
So, you know what? Joe Shasky Jr., I was asking for some voicemails last night. That was a game where the voicemails would have been epic. But you texted us back in the thread and said...
I was dead serious, too.
And you were dead serious. What did you say, Shasky, in the thread?
Basically, I think my dad has made himself so anxiety-riddled leading up to that game. He was sick. He was literally sick before that game. I'm not even kidding you. I can't even make this up.
So how did he watch the game? Did he watch it in his chair just sick?
Knowing him, a little Vicks Vapor Rub, because he thinks that's a cure-all for everything. He might have drank the Vicks Vapor Rub.
Vicks Vapor Rub. If you didn't grow up getting Vicks Vapor Rub rubbed on you on the chest or whatnot and sweating it out, come on, that's old school.
Your whole house smells like Vicks.
Oh, I know all about the Vicks. I know all about the Vicks, baby.
And here's the thing with the Vicks. It could be a vat that was 10 years old.
Right.
It was still potent.
It was still potent. Still potent, man. You sweat it all out, man. You're full of like $1 million.
Was it Chris Rock? He's like, and then my dad, he ran out of the Vicks Vapor Rub. He put a little water in there, mixed it up, more Vicks Vapor Rub.
More Vicks Vapor Rub, baby. So sick, man.
Do you guys know what Vicks Vapor Rub is?
You guys know?
Okay,
good. Okay. Now, I'm sure.
Make sure you're on the mic, Shasky. On the mic. You tend to turn around.
On
the mic.
Ricky
for dramatic effect, yo.
Yeah, Ricky mistakes. No, he just looks back at you guys for validation. Yeah. You guys, next time, you know what, Langford and Curly?
Theater
just
of the
look
mind.
away. When he starts to look back at you, just put your heads down. And he'll stop turning around.
I feel like Gavin Lux when I drop a joke or a great one-liner, and then I look back and I throw my hands up. It's actually very reminiscent to when you hit a golf shot, right? And you're like, oh yeah, 7-iron, pin high, boom, we're good to go. And all of a sudden, it goes into the trap, and you're like 15 yards short, and you're like, huh? That's what I saw from Gavin Lux last night.
Yeah, I mean, that was epic. I mean, he hit the ball hard. There was like, guys are batting .887. Jeff Passan had to tweet. Batters are batting .887 in that situation when you have a 22-degree launch angle and you hit a baseball 106 miles per hour. Dodgers have 4 home runs on such situations.
In the 6th inning, Yaz should have hit a home run then. And Crawford should have hit a home run.
Nobody's complaining. I'm not
going to
complain.
hear it. And then how about the Chris Bryant foul ball that kept flying? He was at
him
first
and
base.
Yaz, yeah.
And he just kept tailing and tailing and tailing. Like, we could do that game all day.
No,
it's the same thing with the strike zone. I don't want to hear it. The conditions were the same for both, and it didn't stop or prohibit Evan Longoria's exit velo.
No, it didn't. I mean, look. And then he looks back again.
Of course.
Looks back again. And everybody just kind of looks at Shasky like, you're doing a show, dude. Why are you looking back at us? Real quick, before you get back into the Giants.
I'm trying to read my mind because, hell, I don't know what's in there.
Yeah, exactly. You think Curly, look, I love John Curly, my producer. You think he knows what's going on in his dome right now?
He slept in that Giants jersey.
Oh, dude, he's rocked the same Giants jersey 2 days in a row. He's got on jeans, and he's got some Adidas on. And when I say Adidas, I mean Adidas. That's what we used to say in the hood, Adidas. Try to be cool and say Adidas instead of Adidas. But anyway, John Curley's rocking Adidas and jeans and the same Giants jersey, and he wore it all throughout the game. He's wearing it again today, and I asked him, did you throw it in the washer? Because I knew you were sweating yesterday. You walk around after the show, you go get coffee, you go home, you take a nap. He goes, no, I didn't wash it. So that's John Curley in the nutshell for you. And I love you, John.
Well, okay, let's
doing that deal all day, Joe.
What deal?
I don't think you need
washing
to
your
wash.
clothes?
I don't think if you're wearing an undershirt and whatnot and you're not sweating, like, I don't think you necessarily, it's an auto wash on the jersey. I don't. It depends on how long you wore it. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. I'm trying to conserve water.
One-time wear, dude.
Yeah, well. All right, so last night, Camilo Duvall steps in, and Bonte's paranoid, freaking out on the timeline, hitting us up in the group chat. And he's like, 6 outs for Camilo Duvall. I don't like it.
I didn't like it. Yeah, I was not happy.
Now that the results have played themselves out, what do you think?
I said, I hope I'm proven wrong. How is Kapler going to play this? And everybody's like, oh, just 1 inning at a time. Let me get through the first inning. Because I thought with Betts and, Turner, or actually not Betts. Betts had the rocket in the bottom 7. It's Trey Turner, Seager, and then Justin Turner. Yeah. And I'm like, man, is that pitch count going to get worked up? What's happening here? He got the 6-out save like it was nothing. Now, I'd love the move when he pulled Wood, because some people were like, are you going to pull Wood and go Tyler Rogers?
The timing was perfect.
I loved that move.
Yeah.
Loved it. I loved when he grabbed Tyler Rogers out of the game.
Me too.
And went to Jake McKee, and I said, okay, he's got faith in Jake McKee.
Hey, when the Will Smith hit that single and it was first and second, I think everybody in Giants Nation was sitting there going, oh, boy, here we go.
Well, I was just happy Will Smith didn't hit a home run. Well, remember the walk-off against Tyler Rogers earlier this season where he smacked it to left field? I was like, well, at least he kept him in the yard. Real quick timeout on the Giants here. I want to get your thoughts on this because the NBA season is coming. We got hoops next Tuesday. We got hoops tonight. Lakers-Warriors preseason extravaganza down at Staples Center, 7:30. Well, how many people are going to be at that game? But the Warriors are down in L.A. taking on the Lakers. Next Tuesday, the season opener down at Staples Center, Warriors-Lakers. Going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for that.
Into my veins.
Oh, my gosh. Can't wait. Don't forget to tune in to Warriors pre- and post-game. Warriors Live, 6 to 7 after the game.
On the station that, posts my tweets.
Yeah.
NBC Bay Area Sports.
You know what? I'm going to send a couple tweets or a couple texts over to the NBC. Make sure that doesn't happen.
All right, spit out the NBA stuff and let's get back to the Giants.
The Brooklyn Nets have a situation. A lot of people were freaking out about Andrew Wiggins. Well, he got the shot, got the J&J, got the shot. He's going to play. He's going to play all 82, not just 41. Kyrie Irving has been one of the guys who doesn't want to get the shot. Now, whether or not I'm not going to get into whether or not he should or what he's going to do, but here's the situation. Sean Marks, the GM of the Brooklyn Nets, said, given the evolving nature of the situation and after thorough deliberation, we have decided Kyrie Irving will not play or practice with the team until he is eligible to be a full participant. Kyrie has made a personal choice, and we respect his individual right to choose. Currently, the choice restricts his ability to be a full-time member of the team, and we will not permit any member of our team to participate with part-time availability. It is imperative that we continue to build chemistry as a team and remain true to our long-established values of togetherness and sacrifice. Our championship goals for the season have not changed, and to achieve these goals, each member of our organization must pull in the same direction. We are excited for the start of the season and look forward to a successful campaign that will make the borough of Brooklyn proud.
So he's not going to be able to practice or play with them at all for right now?
For right now, until he gets vaccinated. And, that's a bigger story in Brooklyn. It's a bigger story, but now we have it. A player basically saying, you know what, I'm not going to get the shot. And now, as we get closer to the regular season and it gets closer to the openers, the Brooklyn Nets open in Milwaukee on ring night, Kyrie's not going to be around.
The local health officials in New York, in San Francisco, in these areas have kind of forced a lot of companies, and every company, every industry, forget basketball, every industry. Right now, they're mandating that city workers in San Francisco get the vaccination. Now, you and I are on the same page on this one. I have the vaccination.
Yeah.
But I don't feel comfortable A, telling someone else what they should do, or B, shaming someone because of their beliefs, whatever they might be, whether I agree with them, disagree with them, whatever. The pandemic has taught me one thing, Bonte. It's that I cannot tell my neighbor what to do. I need to worry about what's going on in my house, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure I'm doing what I need to do for me, and I'm not going to try to parent somebody else or tell them what to do. So if Kyrie feels so strongly that he will compensate or compromise his position in the NBA, who am I to tell him that he's wrong? He can make the decisions that are best for him and his family. Now, the Nets, I feel like, are being forced into this situation by the local health officials, and they're probably doing what's the most logical and the least liable thing for them as a company, which is what all these other companies are doing around. Like, there's a reason we've got, hey, you got to wear a mask inside the building. A, it's the safest thing to do because of the health guidelines, and B, it's because they don't want to be liable for anything.
Right.
So I don't fault anyone in this situation. If Kyrie feels the way he does and the Nets have to do what they have to do, then this is where we're at.
This is where we're at. And that's Brooklyn's problem there. Kyrie Irving deciding that he doesn't want to get vaccinated. So now the Nets said, you know what, stay away until you decide to get vaccinated. We respect your decision, but you cannot be a part-time player here with the Brooklyn Nets. By the way, the Rocket Mortgage Pro Football Pick'em. Anybody out there win some money yet? Your picks could be worth $10,000. There's $1,000 up for grabs every single week with the Rocket Mortgage Pro Football Pick'em. Sign up today by texting picks to 20357. That's 20357 to just pick the winner of each week's games. No point spreads, no lineups, and it's totally free to enter. Who's won some money yet? Who's got more picks than me, right? Who's got more picks? You know
who's got more picks?
Who's that?
Charles Woodson. Because have you seen Elevate Your Tailgate? It's back. 957thegame.com. Check it out. All on Twitter, all on IG, all up in the videos on YouTube. Elevate Your Tailgate with Charles Woodson, Mr. Intercept. Yes, Intercept Wines. Look for it at your local retailer or visit interceptwines.com and have it delivered to your door. Let's get back into the Giants.
It's 6-5.
Steven, hit me with the Camilo Duvall.
The 1-0. Lux in the air. That ball's hit well. That ball's back. Duggar on the track. Makes the catch to end the game. The wind knocked it down. And the ball game is over. And the Giants win game 3, 1-0.
Lux is beside himself at first base. He covered that completely and it stayed in the park.
He cannot believe it did not go out.
Brian Anderson on the call. Brian Anderson with the great call. By the way, if you're looking for sports betting content all day long, look, you want to bet on this game for 6:07 first pitch? Well, the BetQL network is now available nationwide on the Odyssey mobile app and website, over 10,000 home and auto-connected devices, and at BetQLnetwork.com. This is wagertainment for every single fan, morning, afternoon, and night. Betting angles throughout the day, insights from local and national experts, entertaining content to keep both the casual and hardcore bettors engaged. Get sports betting tips from the best in the game. BetQL Network streaming now on Odyssey. Camilo Duvall, 650. Bonte dropped I hope I'm wrong last night talking about Duvall. You damn right I did. I hope I'm wrong about it. I'm wrong all the time.
So when you put that tweet into the ethos, it was hope I'm wrong, but really I hope I'm right. So I can come back and say I told you so.
No, absolutely not. I don't operate like that. I'm a selfish human being. No, I'm not selfish. I'm actually a very giving human being. Where did that drop come from? I've never said that in my life. I'm selfish when it comes to baby Chaz and Anna, but that's about it. Look, I was worried. This guy's never been in this spot. He's never been in this spot before. 55,000 screaming fans at Dodger Stadium, blue rally towels, and you're asked to pull a Mariano Rivera? Go get 6 outs, young man.
He's so green, he doesn't even know what's going on. That's the beauty of it. And here's the best part about the whole thing. The Dodgers have now only seen him a couple of times.
Yes, twice.
These guys were up there taking wild hacks. Did you see some of Justin Turner, the first slider he threw Justin Turner?
Well, Justin Turner's seen him twice now, I believe.
Yeah, I know. And Justin Turner almost blew his back out, swinging and missing because he was so out in front of that first slider. And then he's got 101 on deck, and he's just peppering the glove outside the box saying, I dare you to try to go after this one.
No doubt.
I mean, Gavin Lux took 3 ridiculous hacks last night. I know he thought he got all that.
1-0 pitch, actually. It was second hack.
Then who was it before him?
It was A.J. Pollock.
A.J. Pollock took a couple of wild hacks before him. Look, dude, they're fine. The kid's going to come back in there tonight. He's going to get a 1-inning save today. They're walking the plank. Giants are going to win in 4. Last night was the pivotal game.
You feeling me now on the 4?
Today,
you feeling me on the 4?
Today's the casket game.
This is it.
You slam the casket down, you put the nail in the coffin, and you send them down 6 feet in the dirt.
Let's go. I don't actually, you know what, though? I need you to take that back. I need you to be worried, Shasky. I need you to be San Fran Shasky right now, because when you're this confident, things go awry. These call tracks,
I was
Jack.
pretty confident Friday night.
Yeah, but you weren't confident about you told me not to say Giants and fall. You're like, oh, Giants and fall. How can you say that?
Well, now you can say it because it's game 4.
No.
No. I'll allow it.
I just don't like when you say, oh, we're going to smash this team. Whenever we talk football, basketball, whenever you do that, you become wrong. It's a trend. I don't like it.
I was right in the NFC Championship game.
I want you to be worried. I want you to be worried. What NFC Championship game?
Yeah, 2019.
Oh, what about it?
I said that the Niners were going to smoke them.
We both felt like that.
I mean, come
Packers
on.
stunk.
Give me a little bit of credit.
Yeah, I give you a little bit of credit.
Who's keeping score?
I don't know. Somebody needs to keep a scoreboard here. But T. Sclafani against Walker Buehler. And they've touched up Walker Buehler not once, but in the last 2 appearances.
Hey. I can't get over it. If you're Alex Wood, right? You pitched 2 innings out of the pen last year for the Dodgers. You tell everybody I'm a starter, and everybody in baseball is like,
they laugh at you.
We're not really sure if you're a starter. And that's in the pivotal game 6 to win it all last year. And then he goes up to the San Francisco Giants and gets to face the team that let him walk in free agency, which totally made sense for them because they had such a loaded starting staff. And he shoves for 4 innings. I know 4 runners on, whatever. I'll take it. I'll take it. Against Max Scherzer, who's been unhittable basically the entire time in a Dodger uniform, even though he's kind of scuffled a little.
No, the last 3 starts prior to last night, he scuffled.
Yeah, because 7 wins in a row, the Dodgers overall when Scherzer starts. They've won 16 in a row at home. And you hand the ball to Tyler Rogers, who's never been in that situation in the playoffs, let alone in like the 5th inning. 5th, 6th, 7th, he hands the ball to Jake McGee, who's never been in the 7th inning, I don't think at any point this year. And Mookie Betts is stepping to the plate with 2 outs and runners on. And Giants fans are shaking in their boots. I don't care who. Everyone had to be.
Absolutely.
Everybody had to be.
Absolutely.
And you're sitting there and you're saying to yourself, okay, even if we get out of this, who the hell's coming in the 8th? Who the hell's going to finish this thing out?
You go Castro at some point today?
I want to see Castro. I like it. He's Bartolo 2.0.
If it is Walker Buehler on short rest, let's think about the starts he's had against the Giants at Dodger Stadium. All right, May 28th. He started that game, the Mike Tauchman game.
Threw
Talk. 6 innings, gave up 2 runs.
What's Talk up to?
I don't know what time. We need to call Talk. He was in AAA struggling. And we looked at the numbers in AAA. I was like, damn, Talk, I want to see you back, man. Talk deserves a rig. If the Giants win a rig, you got to get Tauchman on that float at the parade. I know I'm getting ahead of myself.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, if they're handing them out to all kinds of random people over the last decade, they can hand Tauchman a ring. All
Uncle
right?
Marty Lurie's got a ring.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Will Clark, 0 rings. Marty Lurie, 3. Come on. I mean, Jesus Christ.
That's a good
Love
show.
you, Marty.
That's a good show.
I mean, come on.
Giant base, June 29th. Yeah, Walker Buehler gets the Giants, wins 3-1, 6 2/3. Gave up 1 run, struck out 6. And then, of course, July 22nd, he went 7 1/3, gave up 1 run. But that was one of the games that Kenley Jansen blew.
Was that the Buster home run game?
That was the Jansen. It was 5-3. Did Posey hit the home run in that one?
I think it was him.
Or maybe could have been Wilmer Flores.
It might have been Flores.
I don't remember who it was. No, it was Late Night Lamont with a single.
Late Night Lamont.
Late Night Lamont.
Speaking of which, one of the two, Lamont or Yaz, if they're both in the lineup today against the righty, one of them's got to step up. I thought Yaz had a good at-bat in the 6th. I just need a hit from one of those two.
Yeah.
I know the playoffs are tough. I don't know where Listella's at with the Achilles, him coming out of that game. Donovan Solano made a hell of a play defensively in that inning. I mean, that's the play we really haven't talked about today. Sliding to your left into the right field, outfield, and you make an incredible play. He's not a guy that is good with the glove.
No doubt. Hey, look, you know what's funny? I was reading about this last night before I went to bed. Lamont Wade Jr. Huh? Yeah, I always read. Come on, I grew up as a newspaper guy. I was a journalist. I was writing in a newspaper. I love being an old school newspaper.
Most people are reading to their newborns, their 1-year-olds, and they're sitting there.
She's too young. I mean, she's not.
He's like, here's Dr. Seuss, and Bonte's like, no. We read Hank Schulman in this house.
Well, Hank Schulman doesn't write anymore, so now it's Susan Slusser in the Chronicle.
I read Kerry Crowley because I'm a friend.
Yeah, I do too. I stopped reading him for a while after he dunked on me on Twitter, and I was like, I got to put you on timeout, Kerry.
So what were you reading last night?
So I was reading about Lamont Wade Jr.'s mom. She's not in L.A. because he's participating in a ping pong tournament.
Oh.
Lamont Wade Jr. said, shows where her priorities are. Oh, Emily Wade joined the show last week. She's in a ping pong tournament. It's like, yeah, son, go have fun at Dodger Stadium in NLDS. I got to do this whole ping pong thing. That's pretty cool.
If I was the Giants, I would pay for her to win the ping pong tournament and then put her in dead center field so that he can hit a ball right over her head.
They need to hit.
She's like a magnet for his success.
They need to get some early runs tonight. Get some early runs, and you put some doubt into the Dodgers, and you make them trail. And next thing you know, if you get out to an early lead down at Dodger Stadium tonight, guess what's going to happen? 55,000 fans in Dodger Blue are going to come up with the case of the lemon booty. And you know what the lemon booty is. I don't need to explain. We got kids in the car.
So I know that you keep going, like, who's going to be available? I'm telling you, if there's an opportunity to punch their ticket tonight, you have to put Logan Webb in there for an inning or two if it's necessary.
Depends what the score is.
If it's necessary.
Yeah,
he's going to throw 40 pitches at some point in the next day or two because of his side pen. The kid is ready. If you have to turn that card over because you don't have any reliable arms, do not go to Littell. Burn the Logan Webb thing if you have to. Win tonight. Do not let it get to a game 5.
Yeah, Littell's not touching this game. You kidding me? You might as well stay at the hotel, dog. Unless the Dodgers go up to 10-0, then they'll call the Hilton or wherever the hell the Giants are staying out.
I might need a pinch runner. I don't know.
Hey, Littell, come up to the stadium real quick. We need you. But Littell's not. Don't even put your jersey on until the 6th inning, and we figure out what the score is. Nah, let me be nice. That's a mean thing for me to say. Doval. Here's what he told Gabe Kapler before the 9th inning. The guy goes up in the 8th inning, I'm texting you guys, 6-out save, really? This is what we're going to do this to the kid? You trying to ruin the kid? Well, here's what Camilo Duval, who's as cool as ice, told Gabe Kapler before the 9th inning.
What was your reaction when Gabe told you were going out for a second inning tonight?
¿Cuál fue tu reacción cuando el manager Kapler te dijo que ibas a salir al segundo inning?
Me dijo, one more, le dije, I got it, papi, I'm ready.
No translation needed on that one, right?
I got it, Poppy. I'm ready.
Get the T-shirts now.
Get the T-shirt.
I mean, seriously.
I got it, Poppy.
Come on.
I'm ready.
The kid is so cool. It's not even funny. He comes waltzing out, super chill to a banger, and when he's at home.
Oh, yeah, the banger. That's Lecrae. What I tell you?
Song
I told you. The Lecrae song. I got it on Shazam. I'll play it for you.
Oh, you Shazammed it? All right.
Come on. You know what I do, baby.
Yeah, okay.
At Oracle Park, in front of 40,000, I'm out there with the phone, Shazamming Camilo Duval's walk-up song. Langford knows. I send him Shazams all the time.
All right.
That's what I do.
So the kid comes out, and then the 8th inning, 2, 3, 4 hitters for the Dodgers. I mean, it's a murderer's row. Trey Turner is one of the best all-around players in the National League.
Quietly, they shut down Trey Turner.
Why you gotta do that? Yeah,
quietly.
His defense has been spectacular.
Turner is batting under 100.
That's another part that no one wants. He's going to play shortstop for them next year. Seager's gone in free agency. This is why you got to put.
Why would they just let Seager walk though?
Because I think he's overrated.
Seager's good.
He's always hurt.
Yeah, but you know what? When he's in that lineup,
he's solid.
You can't do it. You can't. Injuries. It happens. Seager at one point was playing like an MVP.
I know, and then got hurt again, like he always does. And I also don't think his arm has recovered from that Tommy John. He doesn't have the same arm he did in short just a couple years ago. But needless to say, you go Trey Turner, you get that first out, then you get Seager out, and then the Justin Turner at bat. And Justin Turner, hey, look at the numbers. I believe he was, 0 for 11, 0 for 12 at some point in this series. They have held him down. I think he got a hit, but at some point he was 0 and 11 or 0 for 12 in the entire series. Mm-hmm. They've stopped Mookie Betts, they've slowed down Trey Turner, and they've shut down Justin Turner. They got to keep that going.
Quietly, they've shut down Trey Turner. Quietly.
By the way,
they kept him off the base pass. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's a great point you made earlier. Not having Mookie Betts and Trey Turner on the base pass.
Have they been on the bases at the same time?
They cause havoc.
That's what I'm saying.
They cause havoc.
And it sets things up for all those other guys down the row. And they all can run.
Look, how refreshing is it? And look, we don't wish injuries on anybody because I wish Brandon Belt was in this series. I wish Max Muncy was in this series.
Oh,
but that's a game Max Muncy destroys the Giants. He gets one against the Giants yesterday, Max Muncy.
Bonte, you look at the all-time list of guys, home runs against the Giants. He's at the top. I mean, he really is in terms of the rivalry between Giants and Dodgers. Dude is an all-time player when he plays the Giants, and he has been a thorn in their side, and he's clutch. Mm-hmm. That's the other part, and he elongates that lineup. I mean, instead of the Turner Baddies or whatever the hell that guy's name is, you got Max Muncy. It's totally different. He's another all-around great guy who gets on base. His on-base percentage is through through the roof, and he's tough against righties and lefties. Their whole lineup is. But, yeah, look, today's gigantic. I just want to see them close it out on the road. How sweet would it be to take out the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium?
I'm telling you.
It would be all time.
So Duvall song, 510. Everybody wants to know what the song
what
is
is
because don't worry, Poppy. I'm ready. That's going to be on a t-shirt. Coming in hot. Lecrae.
Not LaCroix.
Yeah, it's Steph Curry's favorite rapper.
What's the name of that drink?
You never heard of
likes?
Lecrae?
No, I haven't.
Christian rapper. Steph Curry goes to the concerts all the time.
Oh.
Lecrae. He's big time.
Christian rap.
Coming in hot.
Yeah, not part of my wheelhouse.
No, this is a banger, though. Steph Curry knows all about it. Lecrae's good. Dan Dibley knows who Lecrae is. Dan Dibley knows Lecrae.
Hal Lecrae, yeah, great Royals manager.
Yeah, Hal Lecrae. Hey, don't throw any phones in here, Dan Dibley. Please.
No phones. I'm coming in hot. Boys, what a game last night.
Unbelievable.
I just want to give you a little heads up. The rookie, a.k.a. Mark Willard, my partner, second day in a row, left his headset in the car. So he's going to be coming in hot here in a couple minutes. I'm in and out. I'm hitting and running. But when he comes in, slow play him, slow roll him, and blow up the rookie if you wouldn't mind.
Hey, in and out like animal style, huh? You going in?
Thank you.
I mean, that was a weak joke. That was low-hanging
it's funny
fruit. That was
because
terrible.
I'm back eating meat
terrible.
after 31 years on the sideline.
How does it feel?
Did you take some of the Harris Ranch meat that I brought last week?
Butch, put the over-under on how many pieces of meat your boy took.
10.
I would go under the 10. Although the fillets were so just gorgeous. I scored points at home with the girlfriend, so I want to thank you.
Yes.
Elevate your tailgate, everybody. And
yes.
I cannot, and I hate to say this, don't you dare cut this. I can't wait to eat that meat, Butcher. Thank you. I'm out. Blow up my boy. He'll be here in about 90 seconds.
My goodness.
Let me just say, I had so much meat home that Anna said, we don't have enough room in the freezer, and I had to play a little Tetris here in the freezer to get all the meat in the freezer.
What do you have in the freezer?
I've got everything, dude. We shop at Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. We got a stacked freeze.
Tater tots?
Do I look, dude? Food loves me, and I love food.
Meat Tetris might be the greatest freezer game ever.
Yeah, you should see my freezer right now. It's glorious. You know in the Dr. Dre video, Nothing But a G Thing, he opens the refrigerator and it's all 40 ounces. 40s,
yeah.
When you open my freezer, it's all prime ribs. It's incredible.
It's good to be you right now in barbecue season.
Yeah. Wait till you're about 40 years old, which is coming in a few years, Chaz.
Next week.
Yeah.
Just you wait until you become 50 years old when your metabolism is non-existent.
Oh.
Yeah. You want to talk about slowing down.
Yeah, I think that's already happening to me right now.
So last night, iconic moments in Giants-Dodger history. It's obviously almost all the way at the top. Playoff history. Think of all the moments the Giants have had. All the crazy moments, all the woulda, coulda, shouldas. The Johnny Sanchez hit and chase Utley, going to Affeldt, the Juan Uribe home run, Travis Ishikawa, everything. The Brandon Crawford play, if they can just forget the World Series for a second, just get through the Dodgers. It's going to be one of the all-time iconic plays in Giants history.
Well, there was about 5 iconic plays to me, and I think lost is the Donovan Solano scoop and slide.
Underrated.
Scoop, slide, and spin,
No doubt.
which is hard for a guy with a lisp, quite frankly. Both the Duggar trackdowns in center and the positioning across the board. It was a defensive masterclass. 27 outs that were just... Not that they were never in doubt, but it was such crisp execution, and that's the way you get it done in a 1-0 game. But without any further ado... Let's bring him in. Sophomore jinx on his second day?
Wow. Sophomore jinx?
How did the first day of school go? It's your new school. You're the new guy on the block. You know what I'm saying? How did the first day go?
I got lost at least 5 times in this building. Goo had to show me where the elevator was.
I'm excited. Here's the elevator.
Thank goodness I ran into him. Yeah, because he's one of the few people who's just like, come on, I don't need to be on the air. Let me show you around the building right in the middle of his show. So we had that aspect of it. I still can't get myself to remember everything from the car, so I just had to run out to the car to get my headsets for the second day in a row. So we're 0 for 2 there. But then again, so's most of the Giants lineup by the 5th inning yesterday.
Nice.
And it all worked out. It's okay. And this is going to work out.
Hey, look, you didn't get a great greeting from Shasky yesterday. First day of school, he tried to bully you on the airwaves, man. You guys went
I get passionate about
They got a little
Trey.
heated here.
Look, he's a little, aren't we all? We're a little jacked up this week. I saw your Twitter video last night after the game.
Yeah, that was toned down.
You're clearly you're a human being who is on the brink of potentially being just emotionally out of control right now. So I don't take it personally. It's all good. I get what we're going through right now. This is a big deal.
Xanax is his best friend.
Hey, look. But I know you guys are going to talk big Giants. There's so many moments.
We might talk about.
Let me whisper something into existence. There's no overpay amount when it comes to the money to go get Max Scherzer in the offseason. The day is not today. But at some point, give me the 2-year deal. I'll give him $80 million. That dude is
$80 million? Oh, for how many years?
What?
Hey, how
2
many
years, $80 million?
So you want to give him 40 a year as a 37-year-old?
He's a beast.
Here's one
You're
word.
so out of control.
Here's one word
He's a
that I'm going to
beast.
promise the audience right now is not coming up on this show today. One word.
Free agency?
Off-season.
Well, that's obvious.
I
I'm
don't
saying,
even want
just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I'm not there.
I thought we were going to go at-bat by at-bat with Ramos and Miners today, Mark.
Yeah, let's go down on the farm let's see how we can fix this Giants team and make them produce a little bit more.
Hold on. Let's get some bills out the way, Shasky. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and AC1 San Francisco and Odyssey Station. By the way, Willard and Dibs, they're coming up next. And the 9 a.m. hour is brought to you by our good friends at Timeless Coffee. Let's see, mugs and coffee coming to Dibs and Willard. What do you know?
What did you do yesterday in your 9 o'clock hour? Both of you. What did you do?
We went in the other room. We were on the whiteboard, and we were working on some ideas.
Love it.
I want you to get more out of this 9 o'clock hour. I want you to work on. I want you to get more. I want you to, I want you to improve your life.
I got 3 tea times later on this week.
Okay,
Dibs knows what's up.
This is what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for.
If the 9 is brought to you by Timeless Coffee, I'm going to need like a pound every now and again. Okay, boys.
Yeah, 17th in Piedmont, my friend.
Yeah, you live in the town. Yeah, go out there to the new store. Yeah, get out there.
So, all right, let's get back into the game last night. Unsung heroes from last night. Everyone's going to go, obviously, Tyler Rogers, Wood. I mean, Wood doing that against the team that he helped win a championship for was unbelievable. McGee, Crawford. I thought Duggar's defense in center field was outstanding all night. The energy this guy brings defensively, I know the bat's been dead. I get it. But he's just, when you're strong up the middle, Posey, Craw, and Duggar, that's how you win championships.
Okay, I'm going to give you one more unsung hero last night, and he was not on the field outside of maybe for a minute or two. His name's Gabe Kapler.
Oh, well, that's obvious.
Gabe Kapler managed that thing like an orchestra. I mean, that was absolutely he went earlier than we would have expected every time. He went earlier to Tyler Rogers than you would have thought.
It was a safe situation.
He got ahead of each problematic situation before they developed. I don't know where that leaves Rogers, McGee, and Doval for tonight, but it was the right thing to do at the right time, and he nailed it.
I totally agree. Chris Bryant playing first base, sticking with Longoria, even though the numbers are telling you that he doesn't hit well against Longoria, even though Wilmer doesn't either. Like, total gut game from him, which goes back to I know the science and the data and all that, but picking and choosing the spots on the gut has been the thing for me that's the revelation for Gabe Kapler this year. He's just been outstanding, and the Midas touch is there. Bonte and I were talking about this today. You get into a late game situation. He's going to throw 40 pitches on the side because that's what they do in between starts. Do you throw Logan Webb? If you have an opportunity to nail the coffin down, if you have to go 1 inning of Logan Webb, is that even a debate for you?
If I'm Gabe Kapler, I just bought Logan Webb a plane ticket to San Francisco.
Right.
And I will send him home right now.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%, Mark. Yeah. We've gone back and forth. Why would you want to use Logan Webb?
Just to finish the series.
This is but you save him for game 1 of the NLCS. You don't burn that bullet. I don't think you have to burn that bullet.
And you got other arms still. Littell didn't pitch. Alvarez is still out there.
I like Alvarez.
And by the way, your young closer, he didn't throw 40 pitches to get those 6 out, so he's going to be fresh and adrenalized. He's a young man. He can go right back out there.
And they're non-stress innings. When there's guys on, those are stressful. All pitches are not created equal. Stress innings are different. And even though the stress is through the roof. You're playing in the 8th and 9th inning in Dodger Stadium for a chance to beat the Dodgers in a swing game. But it's not like there were guys on first, second, and he's sweating, and he's getting off, and they're fouling off a zillion pitches. I thought he was cruising. He's got at least 20 bullets in him today.
My unsung hero, by the way, Buster Posey. Had one of the 3 hits,
Picasso.
The framing, the blocking, the coercion of the first base umpire who thought everything was a check swing strike.
Oh, my God.
The gravitas.
Except Seager.
Having a guy like that behind the plate, not only for the blocking and the receiving and the framing, but just what he commands from respect on such appeals. Even though it's not him appealing, I know his presence was worth so much behind the dish.
And this is where we'll start when we get going here in a minute or two. But my other unsung hero is the weak, emotional state of the Los Angeles Dodgers leadership.
Oh.
Ooh.
The wind. If I hear about the damn wind one more time, you know how many baseball games I played at Crocker Amazon where it was like a helicopter pad out there?
Freezing.
We had gopher holes, dog poop, broken 40 bottles.
Did your analytics get messed up? Are your splits messed up because of that?
You know what my dad would say? Put the damn ball in play. Shut up and make a play. That's what he would say all the time. I'm so sick of hearing about the whiny Dodgers because you know what? I thought Yaz hit a jack in the 6th inning.
Of course he did.
I thought Crawford hit a jack.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
Buster Posey catching his 14th shutout in 56 postseason games.
Crazy,
more than anybody in baseball
Bonte, I think we're done.
I think we are done. But Willard, Dibs, day 2. Don't go anywhere, folks. They're coming up right now.
They're longtime friends.
Let me tell you something real quick about Dibs.